Hello and welcome to Cutting Through the Ball in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben.
I'm Gaz.
And I'm Mike.
Fantastic, we nailed the introductions.
Sort of 11 or so eps in, and we have finally mastered saying our name in alphabetical order, in turn, clearly and wonderfully. Well done. I'm proud of us.
Today we are going to look at the entire clusterfuck. And believe me when I say clusterfuck, I mean it is a genuine clusterfuck. That is the Roswell incident.
Right.
And this trying to get an accurate timeline of this literally nearly drove me to madness. My notes were so bad I had to rewrite them all in order, and it's the equivalent of me being in a room with pieces of paper pinned to the wall and string going between them. And I might as well have been trying to catch a fucking serial killer the way it was done, you know.
You might well have been trying to catch a UFO.
Hey,
well.
I'm glad somebody did some research this week. But before we get to the main, do we have, we still haven't got a news jingle.
No.
I'll make one up each week. Newsy, news time. So, there you go. Does anyone have a news?
Not
Let's
so
hope that's the last time we hear that.
Yeah.
I've instantly forgotten it.
It's not memorable.
No. What do I say that is?
I've got somewhat. It's popped up on my news feed on Facebook because I do have some weird shit pop up. It's about Hugh Hefner, the legendary Playboy Mansion guy, Playboy founder,
the legendary pornographer,
fucker of blonde women.
Yes, maker of
three
porn.
times lower than his age.
Yes, I feel sorry for those 3 20-year-olds who woke up in bed next to their dead wallet.
He's leathery skinny.
No, I didn't feel sorry for them. Like, finally!
We're free!
We've been fucking waiting
free!
for, yeah. The emancipation of Hugh Hefner's sex slaves. Did I use emancipation in the right
Yes.
context?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Fucking get me.
But anyway, I read this. Time to pay the piper. If he's truly dead, that is, it's possible these celebs are just dying publicly to be able to disappear into their underground cities, being that we're probably close to, quote, the big event. Also, we know the elite have learned how to download and then transfer their consciousness into other bodies. This is how they plan to live forever. They think they've figured out how to bypass God's judgment this way. Little do they know, God will always have the last word. Fantastic, you've got a perfect mix of crazy there. You've got religion and the fact that people are downloading their consciousness into other bodies. Which, in all fairness, if I was a 91-year-old Hugh Hefner who was probably fucking pumped full of Viagra just to maintain this level of sexual athleticism that he's expected to do, I'd have transferred my consciousness fucking into a 21-year-old body fucking years ago.
Yeah, but he was doing alright in this body, wasn't he? I don't know.
But are they disappearing into their underground cities?
Possible. But how rich was he? I mean,
Is
I don't know
possible?
how.
Are you accepting that as possibility?
He wasn't one of. I mean, he was very famous, but I don't think he was one of the elite rich people of the world. I don't think Playboy's
Does that mean that Prince has done this? Bowie?
I think, yeah, but I think
Lemmy.
the Playboy Mansion was up
Lemmy
for
ain't
sale.
going to be let into the underground city for the apocalypse.
He wouldn't give a fuck.
No, he'd just be like, yeah, fuck it, nuke
He'd
it.
rather read a history book.
Yeah.
Or something. But yeah, I know. I think some of them. Maybe there is some truth to this. I just don't know if Hugh Hefner's got the kind of cash required for a robotic or spiritual surrogate body, whatever it is, in whatever form it takes.
Probably just a homeless dude.
Well, you know, maybe. Or
Probably a pimp.
it goes to show, you know, be good to yourself and you will live a long.
Yeah.
Yeah, good on you.
So,
Hugh.
but underground cities?
Never read a Playboy.
No, neither have I. They came out too late for me. We had wood porn and then the internet, so yeah, I didn't really need to. And to be fair, what Playboy was putting online was pretty tame compared to what Pornhub was doing.
Yeah, Playboy.
No goats or nothing.
No.
Not one goat's anus.
No.
And I went through the whole magazine. Well, I don't really have a news item. I have more of a report, a sort of a report from the field, and it's also a bit of a public service announcement broadcast type situation, because I did something that I'm going to recommend. No listener ever does.
I was going to say, thank God for that. I thought you were going to recommend it.
No. Or maybe try it for a laugh. But don't judge me, but I've recently got back into video games. And one of my favourite games is Grand Theft Auto in all its iterations. And one of my favourite things to do in that game is like sort of in between missions, get in a car, and I love the talk stations. The satirical talk radio.
Which one were you playing, sorry?
The one I'm playing at the moment is the GTA 4, but the expansion pack.
Which one's
the
that?
Ballad of Gay Tony.
I hadn't seen it. Which one wasn't 4 Vice City, though?
No, Vice City, then GTA 4, where you played I think he was Russian, a guy called Nico. Then they brought out expansion packs. And so anyway, one of my favourite things is to pull up in a car somewhere or go on a long drive in the game, listening to this satirical, because it's fucking hilarious. It's some really well written satire hidden in this video game, and you can get immensely high whilst doing this, and it's quite a fun pastime. Well, I started to then play the game, get annoyed with the actual radio stations in the game, and just start playing podcasts that I enjoy and playing the video game. Wow! What an amazing pastime. You put on a podcast you like, you play a video game, you have a little smoke. Fuck me, that's
Go
entertaining.
for a drive.
Do you know what I mean?
Go for a virtual
Yeah,
drive.
for a virtual drive, kill some virtual people. So I looked on my phone at podcasts, and the Alex Jones show came up.
Why is the Alex Jones show popping up?
I'm a
Oh,
subscriber.
you searching? Oh, you subscribe?
I listen every now and then for research purposes.
Okay.
Research purposes. So I decided, it's 4 hours long, I could get through a good chunk of the game. I'll listen to Alex Jones. And the combination of listening to 4 hours of Alex Jones and playing Grand Theft Auto, which essentially, there's two ways you could play the game, isn't it? You could just do the missions and do what you got to do, or you could just be a complete psychopath and murder as many innocent people
That's usually what
as
I do.
possible.
Me too, yeah.
That's what I ended up doing, though. So it was just mindless, pointless violence, just dozens of virtual people exploding before my eyes, and I was completely immune to it because I'd had 4 hours of doom prep from Mr. Jones. I just felt so detached from humanity, and so like I'd lost the will to be a good human being. There was no point to being alive if the fucking water's poisoning me and I need special tablets from Alex to save me from the water. I need special tablets from Alex to save me from the food I eat. I need to buy special food that's going to last 30 years and find somewhere to stash it. He sells the world's most efficient body armour.
Yeah.
Apparently I need that.
Yeah.
Even something called bug assault, which is a miniature shotgun,
Right.
which is mechanically powered, and it fires salt granules, and you're to use that to shoot, rather than a fly squatter.
What was that called again?
Bug assault.
Oh,
Spelled
bug
bug.
assault?
No, yeah,
Bug
spelled.
assault, wasn't that Stormtroop Troopers?
It's a play on that, but it's
Yeah.
spelled bug ASALT,
Yeah.
salt.
Ah.
And you fire salt at flies rather than just hitting them like a normal person.
got
You've got to
that.
cock your shotgun right in your bunker and shoot the radioactive flies. And yeah, so basically, to anyone listening, never play Grand Theft Auto whilst listening to Alex Jones. You will lose your humanity. And I'm not even sure if I'm the same Gaz now. I don't know. It's going to take a while to go over this. And I've gone back to the strong lager, you will have noticed. Because I fucking need it today. So yeah, that's my on-site from location report. Location being my bedroom. Don't do it. And I don't think you need me to tell you. Alex has got issues. Even if it's the character he's playing, the character he's playing has got issues. Gay frogs. I mean, and that's not even a joke. He's quite serious about that, isn't he?
Gay frogs?
From that clip thing I sent you, where
Does that the water's turn the frogs gay?
so he thinks
How does he know?
So does he then think that if you could turn frogs gay, the government's clearly going to
That's
turn
it.
humans gay? Well, why would that affect him? He's already got a wife and kids.
Well, because he's a Christian and he thinks that gays and lesbians are.
What's the benefit
Satanic,
to making
yes.
us all gay?
We'll stop
population.
reproducing.
Yeah.
But hey, we'll all be
population
dressed
control.
fabulously. Sorry, that was a horrible stereotype. Sorry to any gay listeners out there.
No, what was he
But
saying?
it's true.
They need us. We're cattle for them. We're workers.
They don't need us now. Not with the robots taking over our jobs.
Well, they wouldn't have robots in there. I mean, that's just we've all seen Terminator. We've discussed it many times. You don't want robots doing shit like that.
They've got to find ways to cull us, and I think a big gay bomb over the whole population would, and they have tried to make gay bombs. That is a thing. Oh yeah, the actual American military.
Let me guess, it's got to be Vietnam.
It was called a pink bomb apparently. That was their code name for it. But yeah, that was their plan to literally, destroy a country by turning all their men gay, and then within a couple of generations, kids are not being born. So.
Complicated. You're thinking long term there, aren't you?
They are thinking long term. Maybe it would have been easier than firing missiles and their usual methods.
Does that
carpet bombing the fuck out of people?
Is that what we're going to do in North Korea? We're going to drop a gay bomb?
Oh my god. That might upset Kim Jong.
Jong-un's fabulous enough, isn't he?
But in this,
haircut and them trousers.
In this, I've often thought about this though. In this day and age, with the technology we've got, how fucking difficult actually is it to just fly a drone or something? Can't we just literally pinpoint a nuke to his face?
You don't know where he is
through his mansion with. Why don't we know that?
Well, you don't need such precision on nuclear weapons.
Well, all right, maybe not a nuke, maybe just a normal regular missile, but right to the face, like that accurate, through his bathroom window. He's on the toilet. Get him right now, through the window, missile to the face. You don't have to blow up the whole country.
No,
or even maybe don't they know where his house is? Doesn't he got a castle? Like the Queen? Has he got
He's probably got a mansion of some description.
They've got satellite photos of North Korea.
Just level the house.
There's only one problem with that.
What?
China. I like it.
Oh.
Right.
Why do they like Kim Jong?
Okay.
Here we go. It's politics learning.
I've got this theory, right? We had a CIA wasp hanging round.
We did.
Right. Why couldn't they send a CIA wasp? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Flies into his bathroom. He's there having a dump, as we say. Perfect time to get anybody that's the most vulnerable. Trousers around your ankles, you ain't going nowhere. Yeah. That's how they got Elvis. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Right. The king.
He died at stool.
Get out. It's your flat, but I will not have you talking about the king like that.
I'm not a fan of Elvis. But that was just a
Let's not go any further. No.
I think the best thing he did was die.
Let's stick to the CIA.
But so why couldn't they just get a wasp in, lace its stinger with a bit of poison, fly it in, sting him in the eye, on the backside, wherever they decide to target him at the specific moment.
In the eye's pretty nasty.
Well, they could claim he had anaphylactic shock and get out of it. Get out of it, right? Fly the wasp back out. He drops dead. Job's a good one. Saves the missile. CIA wasp saves the day. Does some good instead of destroying our episodes.
Well, it won't be the first time the CIA have assassinated leaders of other countries.
Well, of course not. Everyone does it.
Why don't they? Why don't we send the world's most famous and beautiful actress? Because he's a bit of a movie buff, isn't he? Or is that his dad?
I'd imagine he inherited the love from his father. Who knows?
Anyway, he's going to really love a visit from the world's most beautiful. Let's just, I don't know, Scarlett Johansson. Let's say it's all subjective. But let's just say, can't we lace her vagina with some kind of poison that would be safe to her, but coded to his DNA? Fuck me, Jesus! I haven't even finished the beer yet. Chemically programmed weapons, programmable viruses. We put it in her so it can't affect her, or we give her a shot, the antidote. That'd probably be easier. And then just send her over there to buff him. Boom, dead. Dennis Rodman.
Because
he likes having a game of basketball with Rodman. We just lace a basketball. He could say like, "Hey Kim Jong, this is the ball from the NBA Finals in 1996." When Kim Jong won't know, and he'd be like, "Oh, uncle, sorry, that's the best impression I could do." And then he touches the ball, and it fucking blows up in his face. I'd sacrifice Rodman.
That's a weird Madonna fucking wanker.
Yeah, I'd sacrifice him. He was a cross-dresser, and not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying.
Get him dressed up as a woman.
I think his freakishly long penis might give him away.
I read his autobiography, man, because I used to play basketball as a child. And his book was called "Bad as I Wanna Be." And he was kind of naked on a motorbike on the front.
Is that something that children read?
The main bit that I remember from the book, I thought I'd read it, thinking I'd get some inspiration, for the basketball field.
All that stuck in your head was his massive schlong.
No, well, the main story is that I remember is that he broke his dick whilst shagging Madonna.
Yeah!
Madonna broke his penis.
It doesn't surprise you with Madonna, to be fair.
Snapped
You
it.
get the feeling she's quite hungry for it.
Snapped his cock! Jesus!
Fucking incubus or something.
Oh shit, what if Madonna's the bird from Species?
Oh, she's got a song about the Illuminati. But I think
Incubus or
she's just...
succubus? Which one?
Incubus is...
The male, I think.
The male, succubus is
Succubus.
female, yeah. No, hang on, no. A bloke has a succubus, and a woman has an incubus.
Yeah,
That's
incubus
right.
male.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Fuck knows.
But see, Madonna would be in the Illuminati anyway.
She sings about it, but that's why I don't think she's in it. I think she tries to give the illusion that she knows more than she does, but why are they going to
She's been the
invite...
queen of pop for 30 years.
Yeah, but...
Quote unquote queen of pop.
Yeah, but she seems like a bit of a knob, doesn't she? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you remember when she married Guy Ritchie and decided to be British and started wearing tweed
Yeah.
and changed her accent? And then his career went downhill.
Yeah, it's strange that, isn't it?
Happens to a lot of people.
Probably because he put her in one of his films as the star, and it was universally panned.
Yeah.
Something to do with them and a beach. I never saw it.
No, neither did I.
No, when it's in one film,
There's a
it's
couple
an
of
erotic thriller with Willem Dafoe.
Oh my god.
I would never want to see anything erotic with
Seeing
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe
The
erotic is
Satan-faced, ugly beast of a man.
They are two words I've never wanted to hear in a
William
sentence.
Dafoe and erotica.
I have to say, it's my friend.
He's a Green Goblin!
My friend has a crush on William Dafoe. She thinks he's handsome.
Oh.
Does your friend have a guide dog? That's the thing is, Green Goblin, you said, he is the perfect man to play the Green Goblin.
He didn't need that mask.
He didn't need the mask,
paint
that's just his face.
Just paint his face.
Yeah. I actually quite like that first Spider-Man movie.
I love that fucking movie. I remember the feeling when I came out of the cinema of seeing that. I'm like, oh my god, it was like the books. I remember feeling awesome. It was the first comic book movie I'd seen where they didn't fuck everything. Well, they changed some things, like his webs were organic. But, you know,
Yes,
all the main
that's true,
characters were there. Yeah, he was too old to be playing a high school student, but yeah, I really loved that first one. Because Spider-Man's my favourite book in comics-wise.
And there was no awkward dance scene.
No, there wasn't.
And
Number 2 is one of the best superhero movies ever. Excuse me. Anyway, we
we
are.
need to get on to Roswell.
Let's get on to one of the granddaddies of them all when it comes to conspiracies, and this is one of the first.
Yeah.
You could say maybe the original.
It's certainly the Kickstarter of modern UFOlogy, let's say that, and it gave Stanton Friedman his big leg up.
UFOlogy. That word makes me laugh.
It's not a science.
Well, I'm a bit of a wrestling fanatic and buff, a bit of a professor, you could say, of useless professional wrestling trivia. Is it wrestlingology? Am I a wrestleologist?
Yes, you are.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Thank you. Actually, I quite like that, the wrestlologist.
I see. You're just joining their side.
Yeah, no, I'm
I'm
into it now. Yeah, I see where they... So, okay, yeah. Roswell. Where do we start, Ben?
Well, I'm going to start by saying I took a lot of my stuff from NICAP.
Okay.
On the National Investigation on Aerial Phenomena.
Yeah.
And MUFON. You all heard of MUFON?
No, but
Mutual
sounds
UFO
great.
Network. You can join MUFON.
Where we're all mutually as fucking delusional as each other. Sorry.
It's $5 a month for a regular thing, but if you want to be a VIP member,
What do I get for my $5?
you get an investigator's card and a certificate and a lanyard, I think. Now you go to the better one and you get a cap and the lanyard, and if you go to a VIP membership, that's $200 a year, right? Because I was looking at this and thinking, then you get a cap, a shirt, lanyard, certificate.
I was hoping for like an alien skull ashtray or something.
No, you don't get an alien skull ashtray for.
I suppose an investigator's card. Then I could wear like a trench coat. And like
Exactly. No, because you have your MUFON cap, so you'd have to have a MUFON bomber jacket, wouldn't you?
Oh, okay, I'd be that
It's
style.
bomber jacket
like
and
a field
baseball
agent
cap, yeah.
type thing. Yeah.
But you could go to crime scenes and go, MUFON! Special Agent, MUFON Special Agent Carter. What's happened here?
You freak out like some poor old lady who's the victim of a mugging, and so you turn up.
What happened?
Excuse me, man.
It was the brazen.
What did you see? What did you see? I told you it was a black tracksuit. A giant grey forehead, did you say? That's not real bad, you printed that out.
But yeah,
I'm a ufologist, trust me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't lie to you.
That's going to be my new chat line. I said, trust me, I'm a UFOologist.
You were using that next Sunday. You are.
No, my go-to line is, hey girl, what's your name? Who's your daddy? Trust me, I'm a UFOologist. Right, so that's where I got the timeline, which took me so fucking long. And I probably still haven't got right, but it's as right as I can get it.
Well, it's hard to get the timeline right on completely fabricated events, isn't it?
Ooh, we know where you're coming from straight away.
Get in there, ref.
Giving away your position.
No, I'm open.
As always.
So, we'll do a little bit. I'll do a little bit before the event itself and the build up to it. Is remember that Second World War, Foo Fighters, not the band, not Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl did not fight in World War II. I know that he's 50 and he still only looks 20 something, but he's not immortal that we know
It wouldn't
of.
surprise me to find out that Dave Grohl beat the Hitlers, the Nazis.
Beat the Hitlers. He went up to their house for dinner and beat them up.
Beat them at gin rummy.
Yeah, and they agreed to pack in the fighting. That's the kind of guy Dave Grohl is.
He beat them in a rock-off.
It was literally big. Oh, Hitler, play your best guitar solo. Nein, kein guitar playing. Spielen, whatever.
I'm trying to imagine Hitler's guitar solo though. It'd probably be really dark and quite slow and plodding. It wouldn't be, what is he going to be shredding?
I wouldn't pay good money to see Hitler playing a guitar solo with his teeth.
Sliding on his knees across the table in the war room. Oh no.
Oh, Eva Braun dancing topless on a red Thunderbird. The Whitesnake video.
Better than Herman Goering doing it.
Actually, probably would be Goering. He wouldn't resist the opportunity. So yeah, the Foo Fighters. So bomber crews are seeing these glowing balls of light coming at them. They were neither side owned up to whose they were, and they were nicknamed Foo Fighters. Those are the kind of first modern UFO reports.
Okay, got some of them.
After the this is genuine sort of general thing. I'm not going to give you independent sightings of them because it was a reasonably common phenomenon in the last year of the war.
Is that just your thing, like us not wanting to admit some secret technology that
all the Germans having their flying saucers?
That's very true.
As
could be allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly, I'm gonna be using the words allegedly and quote unquote in this episode quite a lot.
Yeah.
So. And then of course you have the great UFO flap. People are seeing these things fucking everywhere in the late 40s, after the war, in the late 40s. Flying over DC in formation, fighter jets are being scrambled, fighter planes as well, because you didn't always have jets at that point, of course, with the history. So we go to the 2nd of July 1947, first bit of UFO activity in the area. Mr. and Mrs. Wilmot see the classic 2 pie plates.
Mr.
one on top of the other,
and Mrs.
flying over their house.
Wilmot.
This is the 2nd of July 1947. They live in Roswell.
What the fuck is that?
They're just 2 random people, and this apparently gives credence to the fact there was UFO activity in the area before the event.
And what kind of people? This is already Roswell. We're out in the middle of.
We're out in the
middle of the fucking desert where there's a toilet, a bar, maybe a telephone that used to work,
a sheriff's office,
maybe one fire engine. It's fucking small is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
This is Nowheresville, so my impression of these people is probably quite bang on. You probably are quiet. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And they describe, and we got to remember this is before, like, they haven't got the terminology yet to describe things. Do you know what I mean?
No,
like,
this is what we describe as like 2 pie plates.
2 pie plates. Wow.
But remember, one thing I've got to point out is every single flying saucer sighting looks almost exactly like every sci-fi film made at that time.
Can I just say that 2 pie plates, it could have been a farmer doing a bit of clay pigeon shooting?
Maybe.
With his crockery?
Maybe, because I couldn't find actually... well, yeah, why not? But anyway, so
it's a possible theory.
I'm going to jump forward to...
Life gets lonely out here. I'm going to see what biggest thing I can launch into the air is, and I'm going to fucking shoot at it. Pull!
Better than shooting at a hurricane. We got a Friday.
Yeah, did anybody... Is this why it crashed? Did everyone just start fucking unloading on it? All these villagers and just like... I don't know what the fuck it is, but I'm shooting.
Do you know that the police helicopters in LA have to have extra bulletproof?
Because people do just reach up and pop shots.
People see a police helicopter and they just shoot.
Wouldn't it be better not to advertise them as police helicopters?
I think you'll find
paint them that colour.
In Los Angeles, they're called ghetto birds.
Are they?
Yes.
Is that a genuine thing?
Yes, ghetto birds.
Wow.
Because they see them quite a lot. Probably more than actual birds. I don't know. I haven't been to like downtown LA.
I don't think I'd want to go to downtown LA.
Or maybe no, downtown would be okay, wouldn't it? It's like the suburbs, the what do they call it?
Well, the ghetto.
The ghetto, yeah. What do we call it? Council estates.
Yeah.
The projects. That's what they call it. The projects. I hope I never go to the projects.
No, it's not
Never.
very...
Never leave alive.
Did you see that Top Gear episode?
Hello. Could you direct me to the nearest train station? Fuck you say?
Yeah.
Oh.
Three white men, English white men in the projects probably wouldn't last very long. Although we could say, hey, we're from a country where you guys have it pretty good.
I might be able to charm them.
We haven't got all this racial oppression in our country, mate. We're alright. We're down with you.
And then just stabs you.
Oh, but he's American, like he'd shoot me.
I'll use my poetry powers.
I'm sure they're going to
down
go
a
poetry.
treat. Sure, go down a treat.
You'll be like fucking what's that fucking film where the teacher goes into the shitty school and gets all the black and Hispanic kids into poetry.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Gangster's Paradise.
Something like that. Yeah.
No,
the Pelican Brief. No, it's not the Pelican Brief.
you're thinking of the one with Robin Williams.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, my captain. What's that one?
Oh, Captain, my Captain. That is called the Dead Poets Society.
Yeah, there you go. That kind of thing. Right. Anyway, where were we?
Aliens.
Aliens.
2 pie dishes.
2 pie dishes.
Mr. and Mrs. Wilmot.
That's it. You got a Friday, July 4th. You go to a poor schmuck called Matt Brazel.
On the 4th of July.
On the 4th of July, we go to a poor schmuck called Matt Brazel, and his shack in the middle of nowhere with no electricity and no running water.
His name's Mac.
William Mac
It's the
Brazel.
4th of July.
Big Mac.
I need a hot dog or something. This is so American. Okay, sorry, I'm interrupting.
Yeah, well, this is it. But he is utterly cut off. He's a rancher, and I mean, he relies on his news from a monthly newspaper. He has no idea what is happening in the world. Jenny's a monthly newspaper that he gets out living that far out. Anyway, there's a massive
Is that how long it
thunderstorm.
takes the paperboy to get there? Poor bastard. Imagine the state of it when he turns up.
Well, there's not much happens in Roswell. It's a little quiet town. The only thing, there's 2 massive things next to Roswell, but other than that, Roswell
Big
is a
steaming
tiny.
pile of bullshit.
No, that comes later. 2 major important. I'll get to that in a minute. 2 majorly important things near.
Well, I'm
the town
guessing
of
Area
Roswell.
51 is one of them.
No.
Oh, isn't it in New Mexico?
It's
See,
in
I
Nevada.
always thought Roswell was right next to Area 51. I researched this thoroughly. I'm glad you did, Ben. Oh, so what is near it then?
Well, next to it at the time is the White Sands Missile Range, which is where all the captured Nazi scientists were. All the captured V1s, Project Paperclip in full swing, launching missiles, developing a developmental radar, anything top secret at the
Mr.
moment.
Von Braun there.
Probably.
Flying pie dishes.
Nazi UFOs, who knows? It's all. If anything's going on in America, it's either wherever they're doing the Manhattan Project stuff, or it is at White Sands.
Maybe it
Missile
was
Range.
just a massive pie being delivered. But if you're a bunch of science geniuses and you need your pie delivered and you're in the middle of nowhere, a giant pie that flies itself there—that's within the realms of possibility.
Maybe. It'll probably be some kind of strudel. They are German.
Let's be honest, is that idea any weirder than fucking aliens? Weirdier?
No.
I just said weirdier. I don't think that's a word. It is now. Put that one in the Webster's dictionary, please. Yeah, so...
And you've got the 509th Bomb Group at Roswell Army Air Force Base, right? What's special at the 509th? Anyone watched? Did that crop up in anything anyone watched?
509. They were chosen to be the November photograph on the calendar.
Yes, they were the Air Force's Men of the Year.
Yes, hunks of the year.
No, they were the
better than the 508s.
No, they were the guys that dropped the A-bombs on Japan. They were the only nuclear-armed bomber force anywhere in the world at that time. So if anyone pisses off America, they're the guys going in first.
I don't think anybody asked them to be on any calendars, did they?
They were riding the bombs down, waving cowboy hats nude. I've always wanted to ride an A-bomb down to its target, a la Dr. Strangelove. If it's going to happen, you might as well go out like, whooping and hollering. Like, woo! Nude, obviously, nude and drunk. Waving a cowboy hat, riding an A-bomb.
Get hit by the face by a bird or something on the way down it all.
Yeah, this doesn't really matter in my life. I feel in 30 seconds or so.
There you go, Mike.
So yeah, he basically, Matt Brazel, sorry.
Yeah, what did he see?
He hears what sounds like there's a massive thunderstorm on July 4th, the evening of July the 4th, and he hears what sounds like an explosion during the thunderstorm. And this is backed up by others as well who reported
It's like a
similar story.
Scooby-Doo episode.
It is, except there's no abandoned theme park.
For you pesky kids.
Because of you pesky kids, we've got away with this alien cover-up.
So he heard it, he didn't see it.
No,
Right.
he's got nothing in that. He's got no electricity. He's probably glad of the lightning storm, so he can see what's going on a bit.
Mountains were still there.
What a miserable existence.
Waiting for the lightning so you could see it, like.
Yeah.
Shit.
He's thank God the lightning's here.
Oh.
Finally read the
Something to
paper.
watch.
Finally read my monthly newspaper.
By lightning light.
Hey, read it on full moon.
You must have to read like fucking Johnny Five from Short Circuit. I'm gonna have much time between lightning flashes, isn't he? Like, one sentence every 5 minutes.
It was a pretty intense lightning storm.
He's very patient. Good on
He
him.
probably can't read it.
How long would it take you to get through Crime and Punishment?
How long would it take you to have a wang to Playboy?
Playboy's not out yet.
2 strokes. Another 2 strokes.
Yeah, but Playboy's not going to be invented yet.
Okay.
Oh, Dan, the storm's moved on.
You just got pin-up girls
How dare
painted on
you
the side
ruin
of
my
bombers.
jokes? Don't ruin my jokes with facts.
You've got pin-up girls painted on the side of the 509th bomb group.
That's true, yeah. I do
I mean,
like
you
how
know,
they do that.
Those bombers going over, that's like, oh, she's hot. Oh shit, that's a bomb coming at me.
Maybe he gets turned on by creepy little sexist dudes.
Creepy little sexist men.
Yeah.
The Greys. We got so Saturday, July the 5th, right?
Mhm.
He goes back to work, he's ranch hand, he's bringing sheep through the fields, finds a 500-yard long scourge in the ground. It's about 30 feet wide, there's debris everywhere, the sheep won't cross it, he has to take them the long way round to get to the river. Right? He thinks so he goes, after that incident, he goes into town, probably to pick up his monthly newspaper. He also goes to the bar. The people in the bar tell him, he's telling people, he's like, I need some help to clear this debris, anyone in for it.
Yeah.
Right? They say, well, what is it? He goes, I don't know. It could be an aircraft. So he goes to report it to the sheriff. En route, he finds out there's a $3,000 reward for the recovery of a flying saucer by a newspaper has set this up. Right.
Okay.
This is where it gets very convoluted now. It gets reported to the Roswell Army Air Force Base with the sheriff thinking it's an aircraft.
Mhm.
Then, meanwhile, at Corona, which is about 50 miles west of Roswell, there's a group of archaeologists out there. They find the second crash site.
Is that where the beer comes from?
Maybe.
I don't know.
No, neither do I. They find the second crash site. Now, this is the important one because it technically shouldn't be the Roswell incident. It should be the Corona incident. This is where the craft is and the bodies.
I've had a
I've
few
got something
Corona
about that
incidents.
up. A guy called Lieutenant Colonel Richard French.
Ooh.
He came out recently and said there were 2 UFO crashes in 1947, and the second was hit with an electromagnetic pulse and it was just a few miles away from Roswell.
Ah, so that does back up the White Sands missile range
Mm.
theory that they were using, because they got such powerful radar, they figured out they could bring these things down using concentrated blasts of radar waves.
That's what this guy thinks as well.
Yeah. So they're actually actively trying to shoot down UFOs at this point. So are they Nazis?
So we already know that we could shoot them down.
I don't know, because it mean 1947 technology.
And this, right, this puzzles me.
There was the Battle of Los Angeles.
Well, I've seen that film. Right.
I actually quite like that film.
Hang on. So these alien craft, did they come all the way from another galaxy in these flimsy things.
Or dimension.
Or dimension. Oh.
Let's assume that they're aliens.
But,
yeah, aliens can come from different dimensions.
Okay, they travel through space, billions, so it's constructed of good enough stuff to get through space, galaxies for, I presume,
we don't know
millions
what
of
technology
years.
they've got. They could have one that just flick a switch and you just switch dimensions.
But
and
my
you're
point
there.
is,
They could have that thing from Star Wars where everything goes blurry.
Yeah, so it's good enough to come through into dimensions, whatever, millions of years through space, but then it can't handle the fucking desert.
Yeah.
Or do they? Is there a bigger ship that gets to the atmosphere, and then these are their little scout, explorer vehicles? Because I'd like to think, I don't know, maybe they just came careening through our atmosphere, right above the desert, all the way straight down, pulled up a bit too late, and there you go. Maybe.
Yeah. Well,
They were flimsy.
What I think, right, is that you've got to take a massive leap of faith. As you say, right, they've come through millions of light years or thousands of light years, or another dimension, and then they get to Earth and they just crash. Right, so you can invent interstellar travel or interdimensional travel. You can't invent seatbelts and airbags.
Yeah, or a sat nav.
Or a sat nav, or something that these primitive Earthlings.
Or fucking headlights, so you could have seen the fucking ground approaching. Do you know what I mean? Look out the window. Rear view mirrors, that might have helped.
Yeah.
Wing mirrors.
Do spoil aerodynamics of a flying saucer though?
I guess so.
I mean, the trouble is space, and that it is precarious. I mean,
It's very precarious in space.
more than half the missions to Mars have failed.
Yeah, but
You know, shit happens out there, doesn't it?
No one can hear you scream. Unless you're watching the last Alien film, in which case that's all I did. I screamed at it thinking, "This is shit! Stop putting your face near the egg! Oh, for God's sake!"
I haven't seen. I gave up on Aliens.
It wasn't brilliant.
No. There's only so many times now, mate, where you can watch someone putting their face next to an egg. Right? Because it's like, oh, have a look at that. Ooh, do I lead with the face?
I did like
Kick
the
it a bit.
Spider-Verse a bit, though.
That was alright, yeah, that was okay.
I like the gory bits.
I haven't seen them. So yeah, I think it's strange that the alien ships can get all the way to Earth. And this is, I'm jumping ahead slightly, but some of these dudes who you're about to talk about are going to claim to have recovered material that is unbreakable, that can't be burned, can't be bent. Well then how the fuck did a bit of it break off
That's also a valid point.
and get into your hand and then your kitchen? You silly man. So what, were bits of it made of unbreakableness, but then they just happened to, sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Let's continue with these.
I haven't got much more to go with the timeline. So basically by the July 7th, Corona site's been cleared.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Brazel is joined by Major Jesse Marcel. We're going to find out about shortly. And an unidentified plainclothes man. We never gave a name, which is I found was quite. Well, he does crop up in every one I read. But there's this unidentified plainclothes man. Right, so
What's plainclothes?
well, he's just in a
not
suit.
in a uniform.
He's just in a suit. Yeah. So he could be a man in black.
Mm-hmm.
I love that film. And they clear what Matt Brazel's got collected up, and this is where we're and quote unquote tinfoil, rubber, plastic, light beams, and string.
String.
Genuinely,
That
was recovered from the debris field of Matt Brazel. Right?
And which site is this?
This is Matt Brazel's debris field.
Okay, this isn't the
Corona. This isn't the Corona crash site. That's been cleared at this point.
Okay.
5 alien bodies allegedly and a craft. 5 alien bodies. That seems a lot.
This, Matt Brazel.
This is from the Nightcap and MUFON things with the Corona. The archaeologist, I have got his name, I think. Like I say, there's so many people in this. It's like a really bad. No, I don't think I have. I think it's civilians. I think it's archaeologists. There was a doctor amongst them. I haven't got his name. I do apologise. But yeah.
It must be true. He's a doctor.
He's a doctor of archaeology. He's possibly Indiana Jones. He was out at Area 51 in the 40s.
Was he the plainclothes man?
Maybe.
Indiana Jones. He just landed there in a fridge.
Don't get me started on that.
We've already ranted on previous episodes.
Right. So let's go to Major Marcel's kitchen at 2 in the morning.
Oh yeah, and he's got something on the stove, hasn't he?
Has he?
Yeah, I heard him and his mate put it in a pan on the stove, some material to try and damage it with heat.
But he gets his kid up, gets his wife and kid up and
Oh,
says,
yeah.
come have a look at this.
Look at this alien shit
If
I
I'd
found.
got an alien ship, I would.
He's got a piece of foil that miraculously springs back into shape without leaving any marks, which makes you wonder, how did it come off?
There's stuff that does that. I'm sure now, I can't think. I'm sure I've experienced rubber. Have you had a sheet of rubber, thin, right?
Oh, and then the little polystyrene packaging things all spring back to
Look,
shape.
it's a thin piece of rubber. If you scrunched it up, then let it go, it wouldn't stay scrunched up, would it?
No.
So he found a bit of.
The thing is, remember
he
this.
found an alien condom.
Apparently, I've got that Werner von Braun was taken to that crash site.
Oh, I never found that on MoFon and Nightcap. The
He's a
mute.
plainclothes man. He was taken there
Maybe
to
he
see
was a
why his
plainclothes
creation had failed and crashed.
In Robert Trundle's book, Is E.T. Here? He discussed a guy called Clark C. McClellan, who was a former NASA engineer, and he had a conversation with von Braun, who said he was there. And this is what von Braun said.
Okay.
He said the interior of the spacecraft was not, I can't read my writing, was not metal as we know it, but appeared to be made of something biological like skin. And he said it looked like chewing gum wrapper. He said there were alien bodies kept in a medical tent near the UFO. The beings are very small, very frail, and reptilian in nature, like rattlesnakes.
Hey?
Apparently.
Wow, so it's not the classic grey.
Rattlesnakes with arms and legs.
But this is from the same guy who claims in 1991 he saw a 9-foot entity interacting with 2 US astronauts.
Okay, was he there?
Where? Just down at the NASA bar.
And it's Clark McClellan.
Oh, well, I don't know.
So I just
oh,
thought I'd
yeah.
throw that in there. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I never found that, so there.
I mean, it's a book. It's hearsay. It's a conversation he had with someone else about somebody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I watched this.
It's not evidence, but I thought I'd put it in there. And
I watched this documentary on the history of the ones, and it was I forget, it was ancient age. It was Nazi UFOs, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy's like, oh yeah, I spoke to von Braun. Now remember that von Braun's been dead for about 40 years at this point, right? He's like, yeah, I spoke to von Braun, and I said, how did you do it? How did you get all the men to the moon and all this? And he's like, and von Braun sort of leans in and says, yeah, we had help. And he's like, oh, who'd you have help from? And he sort of points upwards. And it's like, all right, okay, you're just some bloke on a fucking random TV show claiming to have met Werner von Braun when he was alive. He's not here to fucking defend him, so he can make up what the fuck you
well,
want.
that's the same with this guy, but
Yeah. I mean,
It's all a bit, it's a bit David Icke, isn't it?
this could have been the second site, couldn't it?
this is the Corona site. Corona
Just
site.
quoting.
Yeah, this is what von Braun could have seen there.
So, I mean,
if it was true.
Well, let's say, I mean, if you've got a UFO crash, you're probably going to take Werner von Braun out there. He's your leading scientist at this point, isn't he, for the Americans?
And so, look, you fucking daft German bastard, we didn't bring you over here to invent fucking flying saucers that are going to just make it out of the base and fucking crash in front of all these fucking rednecks. There's a fucking journalist writing a fucking story, Von Braun, you prick.
Well, that's one of the most interesting points, isn't it?
So sorry.
Is the initial newspaper report.
Yeah, Jane. This gets released on July the 8th. Walter Howe, who was a public information officer for the 509th, he released a statement that the flying they found a flying disc. Right. Later that day, some stuff gets delivered to General Roger Ramey. Marcel's there, so takes this stuff to him, and you've seen the famous photo
With the balsa wooden.
of the balsa wood and the tinfoil.
Yeah.
That's the photo that gets released, and the thing is, and the headline then is General Ramey empties Roswell disc. Alright, so it's basically, it's not a disc, it's a weather balloon.
Yeah.
That's the official.
I mean, that's
a weather
easily
balloon.
fabricated.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
They've got the proper stuff. They go, right, just get some tin full of balsa wood and we'll attend it.
Well, this is what apparently Marcel says, that he went into. He put
He
these
says
4
that's
boxes
not
of
the
stuff
stuff.
on the desk, and he goes, right, this is a debris. He then goes, he goes, oh, great work, come with me into another room. He goes, right, show me on this map the exact coordinates of what's happened. And he says, so he's pointed out, and then they go back into the room, and those 4 crates of stuff have gone. And on the floor is some tinfoil and balsa wood. He goes, right, now post this picture of this.
Ah. He said
I
that?
heard him
It's
say
General Ramey.
I heard him say in the documentary that's not the stuff he found, the stuff in
Yeah.
the picture. But I mean,
He did say, I got a quote from Marcel, he did say the material was of unearthly origin.
Also is known to exaggerate, says his military record.
After the fact.
After the fact, but even so. Right, so we've got it's a weather balloon. That is the official line of the US Air Force and the US government. What they found is a weather balloon, nothing else. There's no mention of the Corona crash site. There's no mention of alien bodies, and that is it. That's it.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What's a weather balloon?
A balloon that goes up into the air and it sort of takes various readings of what's happening at high altitude, and then we use it to predict the weather.
Okay.
Probably a bit obsolete now, in all fairness.
Okay.
Do you still use weather balloons? Science bully?
I don't know, I've seen Twister and they send...
So we're basing our meteorological knowledge for this episode on the film Twister.
Why not?
I like that film.
Do you have any better sources?
No, I'm Bill Pullman, RIPD.
We've got Michael Fish in the kitchen.
Michael Fish. Oh my god. There's a name I haven't heard for a while. Oh man. Is he the one that said the hurricane wasn't coming, or
That's the
or
one.
the tornado or something, and then it came?
He said if a guest has phoned in saying there's going to be a hurricane, we can assure you that there's not going to be one. And then that night there was a hurricane.
Oh, you silly fish.
You don't asking a fish to beat the fucking weather though, is he? He's got no idea what's going on.
A fish called Michael. Sorry, that's very silly. Right, so what are we doing?
Right, so that's the timeline of the Roswell events, yeah?
Okay.
In a very simplified way.
Until the 70s.
Until
wasn't it?
1978. You
That's
all
a
know
long
who...
time later.
Huh?
That's a long time later, isn't
It
it?
is. It's about a really long time later. It's over,
Suppose
over nearly 40 years.
alien bodies aren't the type of things you forget.
Maybe
It's almost like you'd spend the rest of your life making money off of that. Seeing those aliens
Yeah.
and repeating your story.
Unless you've been intimidated by the government.
Yeah, but it's weird. Even those people that have been intimidated seem to find themselves at conventions and giving talks and writing books and
Well, they do now because
Yeah.
they're like 80
yeah,
and they're
and
nothing to lose.
making a
Except
fucking
their piss
living.
bag.
They're making a living off peddling. Sorry, I'm getting ahead
Am
of
I
myself.
getting that your opinion
You're
on
a bit
this
of a
incident
skeptic.
is you don't want to believe?
Fucking, we'll get
The
there.
truth is out there, Gaz.
We'll get
As a great man once said, the truth is out
The
there.
truth is out there, but it ain't at fucking Roswell. It's the other way, a different direction. I will get there. I will get off the fence and explain my true feelings if I haven't already made them clear. So let's hear what some of these fucking shucksters have got to say.
I mainly looked in because I agree with you. I don't agree with anyone who's being interviewed after 40 years later is going to remember it to its truest form. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And if you when Stanton Friedman turned up, he interviewed Jesse Marcel, a known exaggerator, allegedly, quote unquote.
Jesse
Marcel, the guy who
Yeah.
posed.
He was the guy with the materials, yeah.
Yep. And then, basically, between Stanton Friedman and Kevin D. Randall and Donald Smith, they interviewed several hundred people who claimed to have a connection with the crash. They got loads of, using the Freedom of Information Act, they got hundreds of papers, including the Majestic 12 stuff, which then kicked off a whole host of conspiracy paranoia.
I heard this mentioned today, the Majestic 12, for the first time. I don't think I know
I've never heard
what
it,
that
so
is.
enlighten me.
The Majestic 12 papers are basically this list of 12 high-ranking individuals in the government, including George Bush's grandfather, I think.
Walker.
Walker.
Walker, Texas Ranger!
Yeah, Chuck Norris was on it, obviously, because he was the major. He was our deterrent.
Chuck Norris
really.
is the one who kicked the unbreakable spaceship out of the sky, causing it to break.
He fly kicked
We have an
it.
answer for it.
That explains how Mr. Marcel managed to get pieces of the unbreakable material from the ship made out of unbreakable material, which had broken into pieces somehow, and he had some of these unbreakable fragments in his kitchen. Mr. Marcel, was it Chuck Norris? Did he help you?
He did. The unidentified man in the suit was Chuck
Oh
Norris.
my God.
I love it when he shows up in Expendables 2 and makes a Chuck Norris joke.
Oh, it's so ace, yeah. He actually does. A Chuck Morris meme. Chuck Norris?
Nobody knows he knows you pronounce his name now.
That's the Scottish cheap version.
Chuck Norris.
The Scottish tribute.
Pissed on tenant soup.
A Walker, a Glasgow Ranger.
Oh, he's nuts somebody.
Oh man. My favourite bit from Chuck Norris from the Expendables. It's very cheesy, but I love it because he's called the Lone Wolf in that movie, isn't he? Mm-hmm. And he shows up at the end to save everyone. Spoilers. I said that after I spoiled it, and then they're like, "I thought you were the lone wolf," and he's like, "Sometimes it's fun to run with the pack." It's such a good action movie line. Because I hate people as well, but you need them. It's nice to be around them now and then.
Yeah. And it's my favourite line in that is when you got Bruce Willis and Arnie, and Arnie goes, "I need more ammo. I'll be back." And Bruce Willis goes, "You've been back enough. I'll be back.
Stay here. I'll be back."
And then Arnie just goes, "Yippee-ki-yay!"
Do you know I read people online? There was a lot of eye rolling at that, and they were like, "Oh, we're saying each other's catchphrases now, are we? This is so fucking lame." Like, fuck you. You didn't grow up with those fucking films and those actors. Yeah. Seeing them say that is the fucking greatest thing ever. Yeah, God, I love the first two films. Are great.
The second one for me is actually one of the best action films ever made.
Because Arnie's in it all the way through.
Yeah, you've got, and I now pronounce you Man and Knife. Fantastic, right? Fucking genius. He's dressed as a priest. He throws a knife into someone's neck. Fucking awesome. And he's taking him out with a fucking incense burner. Genius. Fucking brilliant.
That is a great movie. Have you seen it, Mike?
I lent it him and he never watched it. Gaz.
Oh, Mike. Gaz. You like Arnie, don't you?
I do.
Bruce Willis?
I've seen the first one.
You like explosions?
I've seen the first one. I haven't got around to
No,
you'll get there. It's fun.
He's a snob. Okay.
Oh, you can't be an action movie snob.
Hey. He wants plot development, character growth. So just accept the fact they're shooting people and get on with it, man.
I'm a lover of Arnie. I love fucking Predator. You know, I'm a fan of his films.
Look, I'm also a fan of the
Terminator.
The more, quote unquote serious film. But I'm also a connoisseur of just shit. Just give me the action shit, because I like to. My brain is very hyper and constantly on the go, very hard to sleep. I want brainless, mindless shit to just. And I like seeing the best thing about these crappy action movies, because they're completely unrealistic, but is the idea that good will always prevail over evil just by punching it in the face enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you just punch evil in the face enough, if you fire enough fucking guns, a good guy will come out on top in the end, and you'll have a really, really hot woman to walk away with at the end.
Yeah, that's what the military industrial complex want you to think.
Yeah, but
provide me with the woman and I'm happy.
I'm quite happy to let them make me think that, because for that 2 hours, an hour and a half, I've been quite amused, and then I can come back out of that reality and go, you wankers, what are you doing?
It's always abused me in this society, how they don't allow swearing, they don't allow sex scenes.
But violence is perfectly
violence, murgering anyone in any way you want, sewing them together, making a human sentence.
Well, to bring up Grand Theft Auto again, though, there was a lot. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which is the one before 5. There was a shitload of controversy just because there was a hidden sex scene in one of the sort of side games.
Couldn't you go and fucking prostitute in that?
Yeah, but you couldn't actually see it. But in this cutscene, you could actually see somebody giving head. You couldn't see a cock. You could see. Anyway, they had to change the rating of the game and pull a load of copies and resend them out. All this stuff, massive controversy. And the programmer responsible for that scene, I love this guy because I read an interview with him where he just didn't apologise, and he was like, all the violence in this game, and you're complaining about a blowjob. Yeah. Jesus Christ, your kids shouldn't be playing it anyway. It is rated 18, so. Yeah. Anyway, but to your point, violence is fine. Violence is absolutely fine. Sex, no!
Yeah. Violence is fine if you know it's if you understand the purpose of it, you know what I mean?
Because I love fantasy violence, but I hate real violence. It sucks.
but we need armies, you see.
I don't like watching them. I like watching fake ones on TV.
Yeah, well, some people they think it's
Well, look at it this way: you can join the army at 16, but you can't buy Call of Duty until you're 18.
You could join the army
You
when
can't
you're
smoke,
16.
you can't drive until
Yeah.
you're 17. We can go and kill somebody.
We can go and shoot somebody, technically.
Well, sorry.
I thought something was
I
profound.
fell down a real pothole there. I got distracted by. I was thinking about the army, and then I looked at Mike's picture of Pulp Fiction over there, and I just fell down a real weed hole there for a second. So I was like, yeah, shooting guns is pretty cool. No, it's a movie.
Shooting guns is pretty cool.
Yeah, but being in the army age 16 probably isn't.
No.
But being fucking Jules in Pulp Fiction,
Quoting the Bible and then shooting someone in the face.
that is pretty fucking cool. No, I didn't mean to shoot Marvin in the face. Yes, sorry. We're digressing.
I looked into one of the main witnesses to all this,
Mm-hmm.
and this is where we get the alien bodies from really coming back strong.
Mm-hmm.
Is Glenn Dennis, who was the town mortician.
Oh yeah, I heard
Right.
this. And this, what do you give any credence to this idea that the CIA or whoever the government rang him and asked him to prepare small coffins?
No.
Because why the fuck, if they did find alien bodies, would they be thinking about coffins?
No, this is it. You burn it, wouldn't you? You just
Burn it, you preserve it.
Well, if you couldn't preserve it, you just burn the evidence, wouldn't you?
No.
You wouldn't knock a coffin up, would you?
You preserve it. You
We
preserve
need
it.
4 little coffins, but they need to be bigger at the top because the heads are
Bury
quite
it in
big.
the deserts of some
Yeah.
any old hick can find
And would they treat it like? Okay, here's a brief story. It'll seem like a tangent, but trust me, it's
Okay.
not. It is directly related to this finding the alien bodies. I do a delivery to a place that is an electrical shop and also an aquarium type place. Sells lots of fish, and so the whole back of the shop is just walled, different tanks, floor to ceiling.
So it is like the place from Independence Day.
Well,
The feature of Independence Day, except with fish.
Now, I was stood in there waiting for the guy, I don't know, to write a check or something, whatever. I was just stood there looking at it, and I looked in this tank, and I saw a creature that I'd never seen before in my life. And because I wasn't expecting to see it, and because I couldn't identify it or make sense of it, I had a bit of a mild panic attack.
Alright, okay.
What I could see was what looked to me like a fish with tiny little arm legs sticking out from the side, but it was pure white like an albino, and it was lying on the bottom of the tank, and it was quite big. Apparently this is called a salamander. I had never seen a salamander before in my life, but for a brief few seconds of seeing this unidentified thing, alien thing to me, I had a mild panic creep came over me of like, what the fuck is that?
Is it gonna steal my soul?
I took a photo of it and showed it to my friends, and I remember everyone laughing in my face like, you've never heard of a salamander? And I'm like, well, fucking clearly no, dickhead. But you know, do you know what Jake the Snake Roberts' special move was? No, shut up. There's different levels of knowledge. But my point was, so that was just a salamander, right? And okay, you might say I'm just a stoner who has panic attacks, but surely seeing an alien would be on that level of like, holy like it completely. I'm talking mental freak
Well,
out.
your broad view is blown.
Yeah, not let's get a coffin and do some last rites and do a nice ritual. We'll give him a lovely send off. We'll have a wake. We'll have a wake in the desert. We'll get a guitar and sing some Johnny Cash. No, you would surely, I'd like to think, be absolutely mind fucked by this.
Yeah.
You know, but these witnesses, quote unquote, they all seem to take it in their stride for fucking simpletons. He had a large head.
Well,
he was hanging. I heard them describe that one of them was half in the craft, half out. I've heard them describe the control panels, and once again the unbreakable ship broken open. Fuck.
Yeah, but if you've been talking about this for 60 years...
No, he hadn't though.
Oh, hadn't he?
He wasn't interviewed till 1978.
Who wasn't?
Glenn Dennis.
So it was when this reporter or
This
author
Santa
started.
Friedman, who was like the archpriest of the UFO. He's getting on quite a bit now. He's got to be in his late 80s.
I bet he's
He was a
like
nuclear physicist,
50
and the reason he
books.
got into UFOs is because while he was working as a nuclear physicist, he overheard stuff that made him. He was a massive nerd as well, and he'd watch sci-fi as a youth. was like, wow, that was into this, so he started researching. I mean, he's a clever guy. He's a nuclear physicist. You know, I couldn't be that.
Doesn't mean
I
he's
couldn't
not
do
full
that.
of shit.
I can't even use proper grammar when I'm describing what he does.
I think I may have mentioned this before, ranted along these lines before, but like just having a qualification, being a success in that area of your life, making it through university does not mean that suddenly you don't have massive personality, character flaws that then lead you to make up massive bullshit stories in one huge attention-seeking effort, and also to make probably a fairly handsome living from his talks and his conventions and his books. But just like our friend Mr. Ike.
As a scientist,
Saint Ike,
you would argue that he would look at this rationally and decide and take evidence. But the problem is, it's hearsay. It's eyewitness accounts 40 years after the event.
And we all know eyewitness accounts aren't worth the eyes they're written on. Because they're
eyes they're tattooed on.
They're often wrong, aren't they?
You should see that this week, that people who've had their eyeballs tattooed have gone blind. And they're complaining about it. It's like, you just had your fucking eyeballs tattooed, what do you think's going to happen, you fools? Anyway, but I'm going to bring witness reliability into this now. I'm going to rip apart poor old Glenn Dennis. I assume.
No,
poor Glenn Dennis. Not Glenn. Glenn's dead.
Good old Glenn. He's just a good old boy. He saw a pie in the sky.
He didn't see a pie.
He heard a pie in the sky.
But he's in the first descriptions of the autopsies with the first accounts of the alien bodies. His testimony links a chain of events taking the bodies from the field to the Air Force Base onto Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which we'll get to. He claims he was contacted by Roswell Army Air Force Base. His child-sized coffins, as we said, and advice on embalming. That's what he said to Stanton Friedman.
Oh, he's the Undertaker, isn't he?
Yeah. No, he's not the Undertaker.
No, there's only one.
I'm sorry, you're not going to bury evidence.
Right. Now, he apparently turned up at the base with these coffins and embalming fluid and blah blah blah. And a nurse friend he had told him she'd participated in the autopsy of 3 alien bodies. She gave him sketches because apparently she's got time to knock up a quick sketch.
What were her art credentials?
I don't know.
She could be really, really shit. Like I said,
I've seen the drawings; they weren't great.
Brilliant nurse doesn't mean she could use a fucking crayon.
But then again, better than I can do.
Well, did she? He says she drew them. Have we got any testimony from the nurse?
He gives her name as Naomi Maria Self.
Let me guess, she disappeared.
Well, yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Apparently, after she gave him these sketches, she was immediately transferred to England and killed in a plane crash.
Is this documented, proven?
No, it's not. There's no records of any plane crash or any nurse ever by that name ever serving in the US military.
I'm going out on a limb. He made her up.
Yeah. Only 5 nurses were assigned to the Air Force Base, none were transferred to England, and there's no evidence of any plane crash at that time in England. As a military aircraft, because that sort of shit makes it out to the news.
I'm shocked.
Plane going down, you can't really conceal that too much. So yeah,
I don't know. They conceal alien shit. But
yeah, so this is my point on witness reliability. Is that's poor old Glenn Dennis. There are many more. There's some woman who claims that if she spoke about it, then bullets are cheap, a dime a dozen, quote unquote. We'll take you out in the desert.
Is she the one who tells the story of the policeman turned up? Or the agent when she was a child still, because she'd seen the wreckage. The policeman turned up and apparently stood in front of her with his club, beating the club into his hand rhythmically as he spoke, and told her that little girls could disappear very easily in this vast desert out here, and never to speak of it again. But she's comfortable speaking about it now.
Yeah.
I believe everybody in the fucking village. I mean, I know they don't call things villages in America, do they? But to us, it's a village, isn't it? A tiny, it's not. They'd probably call it a town, wouldn't they? But it's tiny. I'm sure everybody has got a story. I'm sure everybody has seen something. I've seen something being delivered to that base. Man, I don't know. It was kind of covered up, but it was a weird shape, man. Everybody's got to have a story. Everybody. The guy at the car wash, you know, the guy working at the spa shop.
Or their grandfathers. I mean, there's some guy who's the grandson of the guy that owned the bar in Roswell, and has made a living off what his granddad was. Matt Brass was coming in the bar, and that anecdote we went through earlier.
So he's now
made a fucking career out of that.
Second-hand stories.
Yeah.
Well,
From
my granddaddy
Grandad.
used to tell me he could embellish that to fuck.
Exactly.
You know.
So I've used Glenn Dennis as a prime example, but he's been discredited as a witness now. And
What about the official army? Because what about Project Mogul?
Project Mogul was the 90s when the US Air Force came out and said actually it wasn't a weather balloon, and everyone went collective gasp.
Dun, dun.
It was something called Project Mogul, and everyone went, what the hell was that? And sadly, it was a balloon, wasn't it? It was high altitude balloons, and they had very sophisticated listening devices and various scientific machines that I don't know how they work, because it might as well be fucking magic to me. And they were listening out for Soviet atomic tests.
That sounds
Still doesn't mean it wasn't a UFO.
Well, it would have been a UFO to those that found it, because they had no idea, because it was classified.
But now it's an FO.
And what about their explanation of what they thought the bodies, the alien bodies they may have?
Man, do you want to jump to that?
Yeah.
It could have been chimps. They were.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Could
were
have been.
testing flying machines. You know, when they went to space for the first few times, they'd put animals. You know.
Yeah, they shot them with grenade rockets and see how they would survive. Most of them died on the way
So,
there.
Let's say.
Horrific. For the
So
poor
let's
fucking
say
chimp.
then.
Yeah.
Quite I had.
Apart from those
So-
chimps that went to space and came
Hang
back
on.
super intelligent.
So hang on. You're a very simple farmer out there in Roswell. You maybe not had the greatest education. Maybe you're a God-fearing man, and you find this crashed contraption, and inside is 4, and they've been shaved for experiment reasons.
Yeah, skin.
So 4
effects on
shaved
skin,
monkeys.
yeah.
There's 4 shaved chimps.
They're horribly burnt.
Yeah, they're misfigured. There's smoke. There's a bit of damage. Could you
You've
not
been on
then?
the moonshine all day.
Yes,
Yeah,
could you not
yeah.
be forgiven for them thinking, my God, you know, they're little green men. Well, they wouldn't think green, you know what I mean? Like,
They're aliens.
Fuck it, that would, to be honest, you're not going to think to yourself, are you? Oh, it's clearly a science experiment from the local science place over there that you're going to think, you know, well, you're going to start screaming your wife or whoever, Mary!
Well, the thing is, you don't know what White Sands is a restricted area.
So you don't even know it's there.
You don't even know if you could get up to it. You just know that, or you know that it was some kind of government installation. There'd just be a chain link
Yeah,
fence
but
and
the
go
town
out.
would know. There'd be rumours around town that there's an airbase.
Yeah, it would, but they wouldn't know what was going on there.
Well, no.
Wouldn't they see things flying to it?
Well, yeah, but they would just be. Well, no, because they were firing missiles there. That was what they were doing at White Sands mainly, and they're really testing aircraft. So mainly it was a missile range. So
Right.
you wouldn't go near the missile range because they're firing missiles down it.
I'm sure some local kids got close sometime in history when
Oh God!
wondering.
Went
forever.
scrumping,
Yeah, scrumping for missiles.
scrumping for Nazis. And there was plenty of them there.
Go fishing with a few of the naked monkeys.
Hey, there's a goddamn naked. You see what I mean? Though it's very similar. Cause I love the. You ever heard the Hartlepool monkey hanging story? No, genuinely, have you ever heard it? No. It's exactly the same as what you just described, right? Except it's basically Hartlepool.
Hartlepool is what makes it so
Hartlepool?
It's up north. It's up north in the UK. Right, we're in the UK. We're in the United Kingdom. We're in England.
So
It's north-east of England, and it's this little. It would have been a fishing community at the time, little town, and
where the likely lads are set.
is it? Yeah, well, I doubt any of our overseas listeners have ever seen the Likely Lads, and if they could, they probably couldn't understand what the fuck
I
they're
don't
saying.
think I've ever seen the fucking Likely Lads.
But basically, Napoleonic Wars, so we're talking 18 something, right?
Okay.
Now, there's a shipwreck off the shore, and a monkey survives this shipwreck, yeah? Comes ashore on a plank of wood. Now, the amount of propaganda these simple people have received, because we're fighting the French. The French are evil. They're devils. They're not
Did
men.
they think he
They're
was a
not men.
Frenchman?
Yeah, they did, because when this monkey comes ashore, they find it.
They're the best bit.
Right? They can't understand what it's saying. No one speaks French in Hartlepool.
No one's ever heard it.
No one's ever heard it. No one's ever seen a Frenchman. Right? So they've been described in the little sort of penny dreadful newspapers because they're devils. They're trying to overthrow the king. Right? These Frenchmen are the Antichrist. So they find this hairy little fucking monkey jabbing her at them away. They think he's speaking French, so they fucking hang him as a spy.
Oh my god.
They hung them.
They hung. The best of it is a guy dressed as a monkey ran for mayor of Hartlepool and won.
And their football team is now nicknamed the Monkey Hangers.
Yeah, they are monkey hangers. A monkey hanger on Hartlepool's a monkey hanger.
That is my new favourite historical story ever. Oh my god.
He's French. Hang him as a spy. He's come to look at our fishing boat.
They're probably really proud, weren't they? They're probably like parading through the streets.
Yeah.
And then like the mayor from the biggest city nearby came by. That's not a Frenchman.
Do you want to get lynched as well? Look how happy everybody is. Oh man, that's my new favourite. So fuck. So yeah, some simpleton. I am equating a Hartlepoolian from 18 something to a Roswellian from 1947. They're of the equivalent cultural experience and education levels, I would say. So if a test flight full of shaved monkeys crashed, there's your explanation.
I think you could. That is, I think, is a possibility. Oh, so should we go into what the alternate theories? Because I've got there's some fucking doozies here.
Okie dokie, hit me.
Right, so we've gone through Project Mogul. That's what the Air Force says it was, and to be fair, probably something along them lines. Prototype Nazi flying saucers powered by Vril. Remember, you've got all the Nazis hanging around. Project Paperclip. They've all hanging around White Sands.
And that Vrill's a name as well. We had
Vril, we mentioned Nazis.
The elixir of life.
Yeah, well, it powers UFOs now, Bovril. It could have been a top secret airplane crash. I mean, the Nazis, they had some really advanced. We've gone into. We didn't know the technology so much, but they had some really advanced shit at the end of the Second World War. Guided missiles, a flying wing, which is effectively the stealth bomber.
Yeah,
they had that back then, and it would have won the Battle of Britain for them. They had it. All their jet fighter technology was more advanced than ours,
and all that technology and the people who created it came
straight over to America.
America.
Oh, war criminal, eh? Doesn't matter. What do you know about? Oh, no, guided missiles. Stamp in. There we go.
It's all good. We'll forget all that. We'll forget all that.
Your name now isn't Henrik Vitason. It's Henry White.
Yeah.
Come on in.
Here's a Cadillac.
Yeah, here's a Cadillac.
And a homely blonde woman.
Device angle.
Oh, it is so wonderful living in America. I have the giant American fridge which can protect me from the nuclear bomb.
Don't stop me on that.
I have the beautiful blonde wife of the Cadillac. If only I could stop the nightmares of the screaming Jews.
Ironically, they were working with physicists who were, well, some of them were Jewish, so I don't know how that went down, but...
Did any of these guys have any problems, or did they literally just like walk into the new American life like, this is fucking marvellous? Like, bastards! They didn't have any crippling, like, I'd like to think that...
Well, you think they should have been branded with a Nazi?
No, I just would like to think that they had
no,
fucking...
it should have carved into them, like Inglorious Bastards.
Or at least some nervous conditions, some anxiety, some nightmares, some, you know, like they're in their beautiful Stepford wife home, you know, it's gorgeous and perfect, provided by the American government, and they're trying to pour a nice glass of milk while the new American family plays little Randy and whatever American girl's name is. Yeah. No,
Heinrich and Adolf.
No, but he's pouring a glass of milk and his hand's just shaking uncontrollably, and the milk's overflowing over the glass onto the floor, and his new American wife, Heinrich, honey, is everything okay? You know, and he's like, oh yes, this fine. But inside, he's ravished by the images of like concentration camps and guilt. I hope, please. Otherwise, these fuckers just got given amazing lives in the promised land, listening to Chuck fucking Berry. Well, no, right, it was 1947, but in the 50s they would have been listening to Chuck.
They'd have hated Chuck Berry. He was black.
No, but they would. I just like this rock and roll thing, and the
I
teenagers.
don't think
very
former
American.
Nazis, I don't think former Nazis are going to become massive rock and roll.
No, I think they must have had to.
I think it's
absolutely-
umpire music or nothing.
No, they would have completely embraced American life to like psychotic levels to try and just ignore the past, to just try and I'm very American. You know, they would eat, you know.
It's a big camp German accent.
I was a scientist. I wasn't in the field, you know. I can't do a butch. How would my butch sound
It's
different?
Hardy,
German
wouldn't
sounding?
it? Not Butch German.
It was chamber.
Oh, I just laughed.
That's what
at
they
that.
did.
I just laughed.
This
at
is
that.
my whole point. Do you not
Oi.
think it fucking sucks that these scientists got like these perfect American lives
Yeah, it sucks.
and they
terribly.
embraced it?
Yeah,
They're
but they're
like,
surrounded by Americans. You'd think that the Holocaust was a holiday camp.
well, no.
Well, not at
come
that
on,
point,
Mike.
in all fairness.
No, they're
The
such
Holocaust
pussies
was always come
too.
along a bit later, remember?
Okay.
They gave up on their extreme Germanism to go and like, completely take the cock of America down their throats and become Americans.
Well, it's either that or take the Russians' cock, which is probably a little bit more
yeah, it's
unpleasant.
probably like shaped like a gun. And we
I
probably-
mean, look at America. It's not that far away from
No.
fascism now.
No, dude, America in the 50s was the promised land.
It was, yeah. You had
It
your
was
fucking
like-
nice big Cadillac.
Yeah,
your
man,
two-story
That's
house
what I
to
mean. The
tat.
Stepford wife home. He's
Yeah.
got this perfect, amazing home and life. The 50s was all
You've
open.
played Fallout. You've seen a 1950s America.
Yeah.
It's
It-
wonderful.
it was
That's their fucking.
Imagine what he had in the Nazi era.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have had it.
Yeah, but they were getting it through rotten means, and you know, the
But
rest
now
of the
they've just
world
been
came
given
calling.
it. You know, well, there's no fear anymore for them, is there? It's
The
like.
point is, he
there's
got
no
away
like,
with that.
I say the wrong thing to someone, I'm getting shot in the face in the
Yeah.
morning. It's like, now I'm in America, I can do whatever they're paying me to do this shit. I've got no fear of that.
Yeah, but because there's no left in America at that point. They're driving socialism out.
Of course they are, because it's yeah, that's it. But it's you know,
but
they've
your
got-
average American citizen's happy as fuck.
Yeah, it was like the
Oh,
wealthy
yeah,
It's
middle
the
yeah.
class
promised
America.
land.
Yeah.
Teenagers were invented in the 50s. You know,
Yeah, it was
money
the biggest
was
economic sort of boom in the world's history.
Happy Days was on.
happy. It was basically Happy Days
Yeah.
was real. Everyone was rocking and rolling,
Yeah.
fucking and drinking Coca-Cola.
ducking
and
and diving.
you know, it was great. I
Fonz
think.
was around. Every town had a Fonz.
Yeah,
That was a
man.
mandatory requirement.
And these fuckers were given a free pass to
Yeah.
join it.
They're still living under the yoke of slavery.
Oh, you fucking crypto-fascist.
I'm a crypto-Marxist.
You crypto-Marxist. What was your chat-up line for the Oktoberfest? The Karl Marx quote?
Oh yeah, capitalism, more like crapitalism.
Yeah. It's actually worse than mine.
Yes, this is why I'm single.
I'm not using any. I'm going to drink beer and eat some
Some sausage.
sausages. Probably.
You're
Yes.
gonna take some German
Add
sausage.
your own gay jokes.
Oh,
We'd get there eventually.
yeah.
But yeah.
It's a smorgasbord. I've got two really stupid theories for what the crash was, if anyone wants to hear them.
Go for it.
UFOologist. Hey, Neil Redfern. Now I've read one of his books. I'm pretty sure it was
To
on.
play for Barnsley.
No, not that new.
I'm a
Could be, could be.
pornographologist. I've seen them all.
Wow, what if you could technically watch every porn film ever
That's
made?
impossible. I think we've talked about it, but it's literally impossible.
You'd run out of
Didn't
scene.
somebody do a
Yeah,
study
you
and told
have
me
to
like,
start in like the 1800s. To watch every, that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I can't keep up with that.
It would take you, you'd have to have started in the 1850s or something to.
I haven't got enough semen for that.
I haven't got enough bandwidth.
My God. You'd just be all skin. Have no fluids in you.
You only get a bucket and a half, don't you?
That's what they said.
After that, it's blood.
Oh my.
Your experience. If you've not shot
I'll use
it,
mine up.
if you haven't shot at that bucket and a half, I suggest you go doctor.
Sounds like a really fucked up James Bond villain who comes blood.
I want to see that pitch to the new James Bond film.
If I was going blood, I'm quite alarmed.
His name is Cumfinger.
Oh man, somebody's gonna cover a chick in red jizz and just leave it suffocate her skin like in Goldfinger.
Oh, strokes a
Tell me another fucking theory about the crash.
strokes a skinned cat.
Well, he says Neil Redfern, ex-Bolton player possibly.
License to jizz. Sorry.
He says there was 2 crashes. There were top secret aircraft. Now, I've got to do a little bit here. Does anyone know about Unit 731, the Japanese top secret?
It's top secret.
It's been released since. But Unit 731.
I'm not big on my Japanese military history.
Especially not the top secret stuff.
Well, it's
Sorry.
basically it was the Japanese. You know, like there was some really bad shit went down at.
You mean the nuclear
You had
bomb?
Mengele and he was doing some weird science stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, imagine that kind of times 10 in Unit 731. It's probably worth an episode on its own if you want to have nightmares for a week after researching it.
Okay.
Lovely.
It's some really the biological agents, human testing. They actually referred to the people that were using the Chinese, the people who were being used in medical experiments, and they were referred to as logs by the doctors because they weren't even considered human. And they were just pieces of meat, and then that little piece of wood. Even there's no different slicing open and was cutting out open a log or cutting a log in half. It was.
You really know to bring the tone down.
I do, don't I? But yeah, I had to tell you this because it's the crew for these top secret aircraft were prisoners recovered from that unit, that camp. They were suffering from progeria, which is that fast aging illness that
I've seen.
they get the big heads and the large eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They look quite freaky.
I didn't know that was
It's
a
known as
thing.
reverse Benjamin Button syndrome.
Yeah,
effectively.
like a 12-year-old kid.
What was it
He's-
called before the film came out?
It's just progeria.
That's a fairly
progeria.
recent film. Okay.
Progeria. That was.
It's like
Okay.
a 12-year-old kid and he's like on his 85th birthday.
Yeah, they look like they're like none of them go past 13 apparently.
Right.
But
So it was the spacecraft full of them.
yeah, and they have radiation poisoning. That explains the alien sightings, and they think that the autopsy video that we've already said is bollocks. Have we said that?
No, we didn't get into that.
Right. Well, it's bollocks.
The one
Yeah.
from 1995.
That's the one.
The guy.
I mean, for God's sake, they did a fucking film with Anton Deck about that
Yeah.
shit. How credible can you be when you've got Anton Deck starring in a
Playing
fucking film about it?
There has been a development recently, though, hasn't there? The guy who made that original '95 film has said openly, not that we needed him to, that it's a hoax. And many other people have debunked the movie as well, medical experts, those kinds of people, film experts. But the guy who admits it's a hoax has now come out with a new image
Ah.
that he claims is from the original film, which inspired the film that he made in his hoax. But now he's releasing the real one after all these years. He's got over his hoaxing ways. He's realised he was wrong. He's been to hoax rehabilitation centres.
He's realised there's some money to be made.
Yes, he's realised that bills are still coming in. Roswell's sort of fading away, I suppose.
Well, you've got to keep these things going.
Yes,
haven't you?
he's got to keep the ball rolling. And I tried to look at the photo, but I couldn't make out what the fuck it was supposed to be. And it was on my phone, so it wasn't on a big screen or anything, but I couldn't be arsed with it. If I couldn't immediately work out what I'm looking at, then I'm like, bollocks, I don't care. And the guy's full of shit anyway.
Yes.
Fool me once, shame on me.
Won't get fooled again.
Yeah, fool me.
Won't get
Fool me.
fooled again.
Fool me twice, and you're
Ding, ding.
a right little scallywag, aren't you?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I was actually. I heard what
You
you
were
were saying,
singing
but
the song, weren't you?
I was also thinking of CSI Miami. Horatio. You know what
I
CSI
don't-
Miami?
I don't watch TV.
Oh man,
No,
that was great. That was a theme tune to it. Don't Get Fooled Again was a theme to CSI Miami. And Horatio was
Who?
the ginger actor. Oh shit, what's his
okay.
name? He was in a film.
I know who you mean.
Yeah.
I've seen the pictures.
Horatio Caine, which is a pretty cool name.
Well, that's a very.
And that theme tune would kick in, and he would like put his sunglasses on, and then sweep his jacket back, and to reveal his badge and gun, and he'd be like on like a one of them swamp boats, the hovercrafts. Won't get fooled again. You're like, yeah, fucking Horatio's the fucking man.
I won't get fooled again.
You ginger bastard, you fucking great you were.
I won't get
sorry.
fooled again. by the fucking hoaxer of the first creational video. Fuck you, buddy. He's got some fucking gall, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
To come out again and go, I'm not hoaxing this time. Honest, buy a ticket. I'm sure he's on tour, I read. He's doing like a speaking tour.
Oh, for God's sake.
We should go and see him.
Oh, I just heard abuse him.
I'd beat the shit now. I don't agree with violence, but no, I don't know, getting really fucking drunk.
Tell him to admit he's just a liar and record it and then release a massive event on
get him lost somewhere in Telford, just leave him and something else.
Feel like I'm sort of be stabbed naked and raped in 3 hours.
We'll steal his phone and just say, hoax you out of this one, you prick. We'll just leave him.
Hoax, it's autopsy!
Oh yeah, so in the middle of the desert, cut his cock off and tell him there's an alien.
Do you know what's funny though, man? I saw on that documentary you sent of them showing some of these quote unquote witnesses that video and them saying like, gee, no, it don't look like what I remember, and you're watching their faces of them trying to remember like, oh, what did I say?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, how did I describe the aliens? Like, oh no, that's not how I described them, is it? So that to say that it looked, it's like, you don't know, you fool. But yeah, anyway, I think the autopsy is clearly horse shit. I think the whole. No, I'll give you my opinion.
We'll give you the end.
Is that the last?
No. I've got a massive. I've got.
So sorry, because we went well off on one. Then to wrap up for the listener, that theory was that some of these kids from this Japanese thing who had this disease, Benjamin Button backwards disease,
and radiation poisoning.
Radiation poisoning. We're being
explains
transported.
The alien sightings.
Right, we're being transported in a special secret
weather
balloon.
No, this was in a top secret craft, top secret US aircraft.
Not just an
Why
ambulance.
they would get these people to fly a top secret aircraft, I don't know.
Why were they flying them to a missile range to use as target practice?
Yeah. He thinks that the fake autopsy video, the one that we've all said is utter bullshit. He thinks that's
the one that
real.
The creator has said is bullshit.
He thinks that video is real, but he thinks it's the human with. He thinks it's a human with the aging disease.
I think he thinks a lot of things.
One of the delights of the office.
This one's fantastic, and I want to have a piss and get a beer before
okay,
I start into it because
it was press pause.
It's we're back. Right, my second crazy theory. Well, not my crazy.
Who
theory.
says it's crazy? Could be true.
It's stupid. This one. It's utterly stupid. It's by an author. Annie Jacobson. She wrote a book called Area 51, An Uncensored History of America's Top Secret Military Base. It was released in 2011. Mm-hmm. Now, we've touched on War of the Worlds a little bit. There was Stalin, leader of the Soviet Union.
Yes.
Decides he wants to create a sort of 1938 broadcast War of the Worlds style panic in America. So he recruits Joseph Mengele. As you do. Yeah?
Yeah.
Nazis got to Auschwitz, did all sorts of weird science experiments.
He
then produced, quote unquote, grotesque child-sized aviators. Children who were forcibly deformed by Mengele's science, with large heads, oversized eyes, and they strapped him into this top secret rocket plane the Soviets had got and fired it over the Pacific. The attempt to crash it and to make the US have this War of the Worlds panic. And it's just fucking stupid.
So they grew these.
Because you got these kids, did some sort of weird deformation experiments, pumped them full of chemicals, I don't know, Mengele's stuff, who wasn't even anywhere near Europe at this point.
That's the end of The Watchmen. Have you ever read The Watchmen?
Yeah.
Don't they create a fake giant alien attack?
That's right, yeah, because it's...
in the actual book, not the movie, in the book.
Yeah. They do, to sort of unify the world.
Yeah,
so that's the last stage of the New World Order.
Yeah, is that a similar thing then? So they're trying to go for that, were they?
Yeah,
sort of thing.
The thing is...
But then...
all this comes from... guess who?
Yeah.
Guess who the author got this from?
Mike.
An anonymous source who cannot be revealed. Isn't that strange?
Those anonymous sources.
Yeah. Now, Mengelé's whereabouts after the war are actually pretty well documented.
Yeah.
He ended up just basically getting the fuck out of Dodge and going to Argentina, where he lived his life as a vet.
Okay.
Before having a stroke and dying in the ocean.
A war
While
veteran?
swimming.
Or
No, a vet,
an animal doctor?
an animal doctor.
An animal
yeah.
doctor. Oh, well, good. That's an honourable. You know, that makes up for the gas.
Yeah, bear in
chamber.
mind, Jones. Yeah, well, he saved someone's dogs.
I was being facetious.
Yeah. There was that weird theory about him. There's this little village in Argentina.
Well, and the last one wasn't weird.
No. Mengele specifically, where he apparently lived in this little village in Argentina, and there was a massive amount of twins born with blonde hair and blue eyes. And the theory was that he was the doctor in the village and and was experimenting on the pregnant females and all this, but it actually just turned out that there was a lot of people who just got twins in the family. And
That's what the Village of the Damned.
Yeah.
He was injected so when he escaped Nazi Germany, he took with him a suitcase full of SS soldiers' sperm in vials, and he was just injecting loads of local Argentinian women with it.
No, look,
He could have stole gold. Yeah. He could have took, some
priceless art.
Yeah, some good drugs.
Mm-hmm.
But
Shall I continue the eugenics program?
We'll restart the Third Reich, the Fourth Reich, the Argentinian Reich, with my suitcase full of sperm and the iron will.
It's actually a really good episode of Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell, where Mengelé's in it, and he clones Hitler using beavers.
Okay.
He grows parts of Hitler on the backs of beavers.
Wow.
It's well worth a watch. And then tries to take over hell with a 3-armed Hitler who can't really speak much.
I love a fictional Hitler. Fictional being the key word.
Yes.
A comedy fiction. Anyway, and moving
so
on.
what do you think about that then? Deformed children in a top secret Soviet rocket plane being fired over America to create a UFO panic. Is that the best she can fucking do?
Yeah, it's pretty poor.
That's shit.
And they crashed in the middle of nowhere with like 3 farmers and a fucking sheep saw it.
For God's sake, why would you send your top secret rocket plane out just for the Americans to have a look at? Fuck you, Annie Jacobson, that's terrible.
That's below par. That's awful. David Icke wouldn't even touch that one.
He wouldn't touch that with his barbed penis.
No, it was the demons that have barbed penises. Remember?
Oh yeah.
He has an indented anus from receiving the barbed penis.
They also have bugger salt.
Allegedly.
So after they've ravaged it, they rub the salt in the wound.
Literally, that would be so American. Sprit a shotgun full of salt filling your anal cavity after they finish using you. Oh, that's so American. Apologies to our American listeners, but it just feels like if you're going to deploy anything, it would probably be from a firearm.
Oh yeah, I should have brought this up in the news section. But apparently, one of the other conspiracy radio shows I was listening to, Ground Zero Media, shout out to that. It's like Alex Jones, but calmer.
Is that the Archers?
Calmer. It's just like an American dude talking, but he doesn't shout and rant. But yeah, he was talking about, I don't know the validity of this, I didn't check up on it, but apparently American tanks have been seen, or American army vehicles, chilling in ISIS like strongholds, just like mooching about. And 3 Russian generals have died in that area, and Russia's not happy about it apparently. There you go.
Yeah.
So ISIS is an American creation.
Well,
the guy told me, the guy, Ground Zero Media, check it out. He might know. Maybe we should email him. He might know what the bottom this Roswell thing was. I know what I think, and I don't need to email him.
While I was on the MUFON site, I was checking the chapters of it,
MUFON.
and there is a UK chapter, and it gives the name and the email address.
You'll get barred within hours of joining, Ben.
I was thinking that maybe I should email him and we'll interview him.
Yeah, okay. I think
if he's
you should interview him.
I'll try.
I don't think I should.
We'll put him on Skype. We'll see what we can do. I can't.
Well, we should ask him first.
Yeah, we'll ask him first, obviously.
So, are there any more theories anymore?
I've got Philip J. Corso, who was a lieutenant colonel.
Again, doesn't mean he's not full of shit.
That's
but
very true.
I'll hear him out.
He wrote the book called The Day After Roswell in 1997. And his job was to he was the chief of the Pentagon's foreign technology desk. So basically anything Russian that they get, or anything that someone had that might have been a little bit better than what the Yanks had, the Americans had, sorry.
The foreign, I'm just going to say the American Foreign Technology Department's just a room where like they put foreign technology and just loads of soldiers just stand there opening fire on it. It's just like Russian fax machines and like Japanese fridges.
Why your TV's better than ours?
Sorry.
Yeah, so it's actually set up during the Second World War, so they
Okay.
get mainly German stuff, and they back engineer it and figure out a way they can put stuff into that. He says that using the crashed alien spacecraft, his department is essentially responsible for back engineering the technology, fibre optics, integrated computer chips, night vision, particle beam devices, and Kevlar being amongst the stuff that they released from the alien ship into civilians. So they're making money out of it. It's paying for itself, this alien ship.
Well,
It's already paying it the internment costs of the aliens.
well, RoboCop's
Burial costs.
Burial costs for the aliens.
RoboCop's armor was steel alloy dipped in Kevlar. So
Yeah, that's great. Both in fictional universes.
This isn't a fictional universe.
Well, we don't know. We don't know whether we're the prime universe, do we?
Stop it! We are the prime universe.
We're
We'll have
our
to be.
prime universe.
Hey, we thought we were the centre of the galaxy.
I am the centre of the galaxy. I mean, we are. Yeah.
Actually, if you on a perception, each one of us is a centre of our own galaxy.
Well, I've said this before, I think, on the podcast. I'm incapable of experiencing the world from anybody else's body. So, well, unless I'm one of them walk-ins from the last. Was it last week we talked about fucking
Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate.
Yeah.
You know. Maybe they had something to do with it. Maybe the ship crashed because what was the leader of the Heaven's Gate called again?
Marshall Applewhite.
Maybe Marshall Applewhite was trying to suck off the grey that was driving.
But that creepy sexless man, he couldn't do it. He couldn't even suck them off. They don't have a penis.
God damn it, I'll try. You think I'm going to be the leader of a UFO cult and I meet a UFO and I'm not going to try and suck him off? I'm Marshall Applewhite, for fuck's sake.
A very conflicted gentleman.
Yeah.
But he also claimed, Corso, not Applewhite, Corso claimed that the world was at war with extraterrestrials.
Well, they've kept that quiet.
And the Strategic Defence Initiative, the Star Wars programme.
Well, you wouldn't know from looking outside.
You wouldn't, would you? No, it's not like the fucking that Indian text to us, is it? The back.
Oh yeah, with the that sounds like a Star Wars movie. Yeah, it sounds like a Star Wars dogfight, but in Earth's atmosphere. You know, like World War II, basically, but with spaceships. You know.
But you've heard of the Star Wars programme, the Strategic Defence Initiative, those lasers that were going to shoot down nuclear
that was
weapons.
True. Ronald Reagan wanted
It
that.
is up there, though. It
But
is.
apparently that was part our defence plan. That's our defence against aliens now. We built that after we won the war against the ETs.
I thought the Star Wars thing was to shoot down missiles.
Yes,
or
that's what they tell us.
Yeah.
But the good news is we won our first space war.
Hey! Who against?
The aliens,
Oh.
the Greys, I presume. You didn't actually mention because it's extraterrestrials.
It's one for the humans.
Hey! 2 world wars and 1 space war.
Hey. But yeah, so I'm sure the thing is, if we're fighting a war against extraterrestrials, surely that means casualties, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Right. So where you would think that people are going missing, they're dying. I mean, how did they come that up?
Randy Kramer.
Well, Captain Keyes, as we know, Randy Kramer,
Yeah,
he come
Captain
back, didn't
Burrito.
They come back. They keep coming back. He's been killed and come
Captain
back.
Burrito.
Captain Burrito. he was
Dimension
mentioned. Captain Burrito for Dimension X with unlimited technology.
Which I learned in the Planet X episode is Dimension 10.
It's a Roman numeral, guys.
Shit.
Yeah. The funny thing is, Philip Corso is like 90 pounds, and he's very much like what you call in the officer in the army a REMFer, a rear echelon motherfucker. He don't go out and do nothing. He's a desk jockey,
Right.
right? And he's kind of set himself up in that book as like an action hero. It's like you're a
course.
90-pound weakling, mate. I mean, even in your army photos, you look tiny.
If I claim to have any, you know, like, I mean, it's an easy ploy. Let's say I've got just any kind of lowly job in the military, just any military, but I just happen to have enough intelligence to put together a few sentences, you know, and hash out a badly written book, which I have actually done in real life. But
Nice plug.
There's nothing. Mechaphile.podbean.com. But there's nothing saying that just some lowly desk jockey can't just bang out basically a work of fiction.
Yeah.
But describe it as non-fiction and say, hey man, I'm in the fucking military.
Well, the thing is, his rank goes with him because he's a he was a lieutenant colonel. That's a pretty high rank in the military.
That was the same rank as that Richard French.
No,
what a pair of rankers.
And he was on the staff of Eisenhower's Security Council in the 50s. So he has got pedigree.
Doesn't mean he's not delusional.
But it doesn't mean that, you know, in 1997 he had dementia and just made up a story. You know, I mean, and I'm going to end Mr. Lieutenant.
You're going to end him?
Philip Jacobs' story
That's hard.
by saying that in 2001 he was included on the list of the top 10 literary hoaxes by The Guardian.
Oh.
That's a United Kingdom paper, foreign listeners. The Guardian.
Which obviously can be trusted because it's British, don't you know?
No, it's fake news.
Oh.
No, The Guardian's alright, The Guardian's okay.
So what they're saying...
Don't read The Sun.
So what The Guardian is saying is his book is a hoax.
Shit.
Yes.
It's bullshit. His book is a hoax. It's horse crap. It's just like the autopsy video. It's toilet paper.
Yes, effectively.
Well, I could have told you that. You don't need a Guardian, do you?
So,
well, no.
So we do
I
the...
do read The Guardian.
I don't mind The Guardian. It's a better paper than...
I am aware that Chomsky did call it, you know, it said it is the liberal papers are the worst for keeping sort of information and keeping the population down because they set the parameters.
Good old Chomsky.
So.
That's why I read all my news on prowrestling.net.
Yeah.
It's always good news
I
all the time.
I hear that Jinder Mahal is going to be world champion soon. That's a
He is. As we speak, he is world champion.
Is he?
Yeah, but you know.
Well, as we're recording this.
Yeah.
But he was what, a 3-man band.
Yeah, but then
They were terrible.
Then he discovered the gym.
Drew Galloway went off to fucking TNA and
now
didn't
he's
redo
back
it there.
as well.
Is he?
He's the NXT champion.
Jesus. I mean, hang on. Is he beat Bobby Roode? When did Bobby Roode lose that?
Oh, sorry. Spoilers. Listening at home. Yeah, a few weeks ago.
Did he take off Bobby Roode?
I believe so.
Is Bobby going to go into proper WWE
He
now?
is, I think, now as we speak. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, wrestling tangent.
Roode was always too good for TNA. He was very good at what he did. He had the mic skills. He could do it in the ring. And,
who were we
sorry,
talking
we're
about
getting bored.
originally, though?
Jinder Mahal.
Oh yeah. Well, since they made him the champion, because they were only recently started to be shown in India, their social media has had something like I'm going to get the numbers wrong, but it's in the tens of millions of extra followers and views and likes because India has just discovered wrestling or WWE wrestling, and there's an Indian wearing a turban, being a proud Punjabi Sikh. And it's good for business.
Do you know what's weird?
The fans in America may not be so pleased.
No.
But good for business, so we better learn to like.
Do you know what's weird though? TNA have just recently did
They
Global Force Wrestling.
Yeah.
They do operate in India, but they did a wrestling special. They just live show from India. Their Indian wrestler, oh shit, I forget his name. Yeah.
I'll come to you.
It'll come to me. But anyway, he won the Royal Rumble kind of thing, won a big trophy. So they're pushing it as well. So India, there you go, new business for India.
India's a booming country.
It is. But let's move on to Project Almost Indian, but not quite. Project Mogul.
Is that the official name? Project Almost Indian. Mowgli, are you thinking of?
Yeah, Mogul.
Oh, did you hear about Boris and speaking of Mowgli?
Oh shit! Yes. What a. Oh. And the interesting is that the ambassador turns home to me and goes,
Talks like a naughty school.
You're on microphone, you know that.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? He goes, not appropriate. And
he's like, really?
What, really? Kipling? Road to,
like,
was it
no.
Road to something?
Road to Mandalay.
Road to Mandalay? No, not appropriate.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're like, why would you show what a fucking twat you are?
Because he is a twat.
If I'm trotting around some temple, I'm not going to start reciting fucking poetry. Right?
Not one that was...
And certainly not one that's...
colonial times.
And certainly not one that's is basically calling the people who live there back, inferior wankers because we conquered them.
Yeah.
I mean...
I don't think Kipling used that term.
No, he didn't. He was basically decrying...
Inferior wankers are here again.
Oh, that's what he was saying, though, wasn't it?
Apparently, he
I like Kipling. He's all right.
Savages.
He was only in the country.
But he
for
wrote
3
with
days.
the spirit of his times. That's
Yes.
what Kipling. They were inferior
And
to
apparently
us, and we conquered them because of that.
The ambassador stopped Boris just before he got to the line that's quite disparaging against Buddha, who is still the deity of the country.
Yeah.
So yeah, what a fuckhead. But that's the sort of thing, I'd rather be dealing with that as British people than dealing with what goes on with what's happening currently in America and their situation. Just seems way more scary and apocalyptic.
You see what
I saw that on Facebook today, women being beaten up and stuff. I don't know what the hell that's about.
What's
by
the vote?
police.
They're going to suppress the vote. There's a referendum vote from Catalan. The Catalans from Spain.
Yeah, they want independence from Spain. They've had a referendum on it, or they're having a vote on it
Today.
And
the
the police have basically gone into to schools where they're holding the votes and taking the voting machines and beating people up. Even the firefighters came out in uniform and formed like a human wall around between the police and the people trying to vote, and the police started beating up the firefighters.
Bastards.
And you're like, so
that's democracy.
This is a Western nation, a member of NATO and part of the
look at Turkey.
Part of the EU.
He imprisoned all his enemies, and they said, "I'll have a referendum."
Yeah.
And to give me dictatorial powers. Dictatorial. That's the one.
You say dictatorial, I say dictatorial.
Let's call the whole thing on Dictatorial. Where am I going to correct you on grammar? Is that the first one of the show? Is that the first pun?
That wasn't very QI, was it, Mike? That's a bit gutter for you.
Yeah.
Good on you, I'm proud of you.
Still, he gets the...
you do get the pun.
You get the crown of puns. You are the king of puns for the episode.
Thank you.
You get the crown.
We went on
a
saying.
Project Mogul, let's go back to that.
Yeah, let's go back to some fucking alien.
Basically, it was a top secret espionage program with high altitude balloons that listened for Soviet atomic blasts. That's all there is. It was made out of some sort of more high tech materials because it had to go into high altitude. It's also worth pointing out actually that this tinfoil business. A lot of those witnesses wouldn't have had a lot of experience with tinfoil because it's made of aluminium, and aluminium was vital for the war effort.
It's like metal, but it's thin and it
purple,
blows like a sheet. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen before.
I'm gonna go shoot it.
There goes our American audience.
Sorry, American listeners. But there's even explanations to alien bodies, rational explanations for alien bodies. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, American listeners.
Shaved monkeys, or they lost their hair in the fire from the wreckage.
Basically, you can put it down to a lot of it. You can put it down to sort of just memories over time, right?
Memories.
I mean, in instantly transformed memories of military accidents. There were accidents. It was a very a lot of cutting edge stuff was going on at Roswell Army Air Force Base. There was accidents. There were accidents. People were injured.
Yeah.
One accident actually did because this guy was a test pilot, and he basically strapped himself. They were testing ejection seat technology, which the Nazis developed. And he strapped himself into what can only be described as a rocket car, going
like
on
Johnny Knoxville.
going on a roller coaster track.
Okay.
And it was designed to test how much the human body could take
Sounds like
on
a
an ejection.
fucking
It's
Looney
a jackass
Tunes
thing.
cartoon.
But exactly, it's Looney Tunes. It is Looney. But
I heard a story once where there was a guy that put a rocket engine on the back of a car.
Yeah,
drove
I told
on
you
the
that.
highway,
Yeah,
and it crashed into a mountain.
Yeah.
All they found was the Was the steering print?
Basically his fingernails dug into the steering wheel.
Holy crap!
He got he got a
atomized.
He got a VTOL engine. It's a vertical takeoff and landing engine. Harrier used to use it. Short you can take off very quickly from a short runway, and he acquired one somehow. Bolted it to the back of his Cadillac. Found a reasonably sort of stretch of desert road, an empty stretch of desert road with a long straight. Fired it up.
No.
He went from something like 0 to 300 in 12 seconds. Probably not even that. Probably about 6 seconds, I'd imagine. And then he couldn't steer. Steering became irrelevant at that point. So did his brakes. All the tyres burst immediately. And they found him he hit a cliff basically, and they found him once he'd left this cliff, they found him 3.5 miles away, embedded in the side of a mountain.
Oh, no.
And they actually thought it was a light aircraft accident because, and it wasn't until they did the forensic investigation they figured it was a Cadillac and the steering wheel had his fingernails embedded in it.
Didn't he win a Darwin Award?
I think he did.
He deserves an engineering award. I mean,
But this pilot, he encountered what's called a redout. You have a blackout when you pass out.
a redout. That's when my dog gets excited.
His eyes, basically, all the blood vessels in his eyes burst.
Oh.
His
Well,
head.
the guy
who did the redout. No, the test pilot on at Roswell, the White Sands. His head swelled up, and his eyes were reduced to narrow slits.
Oh, for fuck.
And he recovered. But he was well enough to get up and walk around the base. And he did. He was a test pilot. Well, no, I don't know. He's volunteered for their love of the American way.
You know, your face might blow up and your eyes might shrink to little dots.
And then you get mistaken for a fucking alien by some rednecks.
Yeah, but he was walking around the base, going to the canteen, and everything. Genuinely. So that might be transform memories of that.
Here he comes again.
He's all fathead. Like a fathead little eye. Fucking alien you are, mate.
I was looking at you with his beady eyes.
That big head of yours is so punchable.
And then you've got innocently transformed memories of the recovery of the lifelike dummies that would have been dropped from high altitude, or monkeys, as we've said, or shaved monkeys. Dummies, monkeys, they would have been mangled.
Bears as well,
Did they?
Mm.
Bears? That's someone will capture a bear for that.
I saw a video.
Yogi Bear's oh my god, Yogi Bear's an American hero.
A brown bear sat in a capsule.
No, that was Russians. They sent a bear into space.
That is so Russian. The Americans are sending chimps. I can't do a Russian accent. Send a fucking bear.
But to rescind Yuri. Send a bear.
Yes.
That's a terrible accent as well. I want more German.
And the scientist wasn't a little weed. He actually rode the bear into the capsule. He commanded it into it.
He had a saddle on it and everything.
Pig-faced women used to be...
What? I just spat my beer at you, fucker. What?
The pig-faced woman at Leicester Square.
For fuck's sake.
What?
They used to get a bear drunk and shave it, put it in a frock, and call it a pig-faced woman.
This
was honestly part of the circus and all that.
So you
pay like a penny to go and see the pig-faced woman, and they get the bear drunk and shave it.
It's just a shaved bear.
Put it in a frock.
I might go and see a pig-faced woman. What do I want on a Friday night in Dorley? Coming out the pub.
I know which bear got the best end of the fucking. Oh man!
I'm probably going to end up in bed with the bear.
Oh fuck me! Oh my god!
This woman, she looked like she was a bit of a pig face.
That's my second favourite historical fact of the day.
We've been very historically factual today.
And it's all been very animal based.
Everything bar Roswell has been really historically
Everything except this alien shit. Oh god.
Hoaxes by UFO proponents. I mean, if you really want something to be true, you'll make shit up, and that's what we said about the military documents. It's like well, Marcel had he makes shit up to his military records, but then they'll go, oh well, that's added after. It was added after, but then they're using stuff in other military records to back up their case. They want it to be true because they think it is. Well, they think it's true. Yeah. They want it to be.
I've got a quote actually I missed out. CIA agent for 25 years, Chase Brandon. Do you know what I'm
Hey, Chase.
No.
Chase Brandon.
Chase Brandon.
Oh, chased Brandon or Chase Brandon.
No, he's
Chase.
not
I
very
thought it was a
chased.
CIA agent chased Brandon.
He's
I'm
not
like,
chased.
Brandon.
He'll fuck your girlfriend. He's not chased. Well, he's got you at gunpoint.
Well, he came out and said it was not a weather balloon. He said it was a craft that didn't come from this planet, and it's hidden in the vault in the CIA agency's labs.
Fair
Well,
enough.
There we go.
Chase says
One more
so.
quote for you about
If Chase says it, then
And where
I
did,
imagine with a name like Chase
where
Brandon.
did Chase come from? Did you find out?
He was in the
His,
CIA for 25 years.
he says.
With a name like Chase Brandon, you know he's like he's a good-looking surfer dude.
I
isn't he?
believe
Well-
it's the Daily Mail.
Oh, there we go. Then forget it.
So if you want to go and check him, I'm sure there's an article.
Have you noticed during, since we started the show doing research and things, that the more quote-unquote mainstream websites, Daily Mail, etc., carry a lot of conspiracy
Yeah.
stories just because
Yeah.
they're that desperate to get traffic, basically, and clicks and view. They will carry these stories
Yeah,
now.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, we're better
Front
than
page
Daily
on the
Mail.
Sunday Sport.
Well, it has
I've
been
got-
for
I've got-
years.
Two more, and then we're good.
Okie dokie.
We've gone through
And
Roswell.
then have we exhausted the Roswell
We
theories?
have. I mean, whatever crashed.
See if you
a
can
lot of-
sway me.
Whatever crashed, a lot of what was found was described as really mundane stuff. Rubber, Scotch tape was mentioned.
Scotch.
Tinfoil, aluminium. I mean, this is stuff. I know
Stuff
that a
you
lot
found
of
on
people.
Blue Peter said.
Yeah.
It's fucking
And all the evidence of witness intimidation is hearsay. We've touched on that.
So the aliens are basically
Yeah. But what?
using
why
gaffer
did they?
tape.
Why did they come out? Why did the US Army come out and say it's a flying disc? And then
Because they wouldn't have known what Project Mogul was. If it was Project Mogul,
But didn't they say alien bodies were recovered as well?
that came out later.
Wasn't that in the first headline?
No, it was a recovered flying disc. Nothing about the bodies.
I don't know.
I mean, at that point, people don't know what these flying discs are. They could be alien. Yeah, they might be.
You think the
But they could have
you
been
think the
Soviet
spokesman
craft.
for the Air Force would have found out?
Well, they had Project Blue Book.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got to be told what to say. He ain't going to come out and, and put phones up. What you found? Fucking flying disc, mate. aliens. Yes,
And I agree.
he's going to toe the line. And the Air
And
Force.
and then
you think
ring the
that-
Undertaker and ask for 4 tiny coffins.
But when you think that the 509th Bomb Group, Roswell Army Air Force, they've got to be the most proficient people in the Air Force. They are the only guys flying with nuclear weapons. They are America's teeth. Yeah? You piss us off, this is what you get. And they're releasing, oh yeah, we found a fucking, guess what, mate? Found a fucking flying saucer. Yeah. No, we can't. It was, I mean.
So why did that come out? Why
This
did
is
that
it.
come out?
But I suppose with the hysteria at the time, and I mean there was a reward for $3,000 for a crashed disc.
It could be reverse psychology.
Well,
It
look
could
at-
have been. It could have been. They could
Yeah,
have gone right. We're
exactly.
going to say it's a UFO. We're going to get people interested in UFOs, so they can't detect. Every time they see something weird in the sky, it's a UFO.
This is it. We can test whatever we want because no people think there are aliens.
Right. Yes. So
If they look
maybe-
in the sky and see I mean, look at the stealth
Well,
bomb.
why
the
did they
stealth
retract
bomber.
it then?
Mm.
Why don't they just go with the lie?
Because they go, oh, it's a weather balloon.
But why it will work to their advantage if that scenario is true.
People trusted the government back then. They did. Because
I
about
did
World
hear
War
a good
II.
quote.
The government,
Yeah.
they'd won that war. They mobilised to become the world's greatest nation.
People trust the government now. They're idiots.
I
Yeah,
did-
they are.
no,
but
listen,
back then,
yeah.
we weren't educated at that point. You only had government
I
controlled
heard
media.
a very good quote on this. One of these witnesses, somebody in the documentary said, back then, if your government told you it was flying pigs, you accepted it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
Well,
today.
that's the more mysterious why they changed the story.
That's definitely the cover up in there somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I think. I lean towards some sort of secret craft that they were testing. That they don't want. Obviously, they don't want their secret technology in the hand. In
Oh,
the,
of course not. No one
in
should know about
open
it.
public knowledge. It's secret. That's for a fucking reason. DARPA releases their videos of certain things. not fucking everything by any stretch of the imagination.
What they're showing us, they've got.
Yeah.
What you know that little robot, the fucking horrifying robot, Jackal, Ravage.
Yeah.
If that's doing that, I'll guarantee you they've got something that's running seamlessly.
Yeah.
It's not on a treadmill.
Yeah.
It's out there hunter-killer fucking mode already. You know,
So
it's at that level.
That's where I lean. I lean towards something that they didn't want people knowing crashed that they were testing, or the official story of the weather balloon. I think these people in this town, God bless them, have kept their town alive based off that one newspaper headline and report.
The entire economy of that town is based on UFOs.
I don't blame them I don't blame them or judge them, and I think the more you perpetuate a story and yeah, look, this is so many years ago, man, and rumour and innuendo and things that just get.
And just memories going wrong.
Well, I've got some quotes from some prominent people about the whole alien thing.
Who prominent?
Well, I've got former Senator Mike Gravel, Democratic Senator of Alaska, and he ran for president in 2008.
Fair play.
Strange, I never heard of him.
Well, do you know all the senators?
No, I don't. I was trying to appear politically.
Me and Ben often play Senator Top Trump.
Yes, we do. Well, you're not here.
What's a
Damn,
senator?
I'm pretty good at it.
I'm joking. I know what a senator is.
Yeah.
It's basically an MP.
Yeah.
Sort of thing,
what's don't they have?
I know, it's more like
if you're a senator, you're like a senior. Like,
yeah, you're more like the House of Lords, I guess.
Oh, right, okay. Any American listeners can fill us in on that. That'd be great. Political ignorance.
He said there is an extraterrestrial influence that is
aliens
are investigating our planet. Something is monitoring the planet very cautiously.
I'm surprised.
The fucking CIA and fucking.
He says it's extraterrestrial.
But if they were monitoring us, you would think we're pretty aggressive, aren't we? Let's face it. As a species, they've been monitoring us cautiously. The Federation, if they're out there, would be sort of hanging back a little bit, having an observation of us.
And Dr. Edgar Mitchell.
Oh, I like Eddie.
He was the 6th man on the moon. Not many of them.
They said the doctor.
He's a doctor, yeah. He was a doctor. Yeah. Was RIPD when we went last year.
Yeah. He says there has been crashed craft and bodies recovered. We are not alone in the universe. They have been coming here a long time. I happen to be privileged enough to be on the fact. We have been visited on this planet, and the UFO phenomenon is real.
Phenomenal.
Okay. And one more, Edgar Mitchell. This is from the Podesta emails.
Okay, the Podesta.
The hacked Podesta emails from WikiLeaks.
Okay.
He's writing to John Podesta. Says, "Dear John, because the war in space is heating up."
Oh God!
Okay. Jesus, we are fighting a war in space.
Apparently, I felt you should be aware of several factors as you and I schedule our Skype talk. Remember, our non-violent ETI from the contiguous universe are helping us to bring 0-point energy to Earth. They will not tolerate any forms of military violence on Earth or in space. The following information in italics was shared with me by my colleague Carol Rosin, who worked closely for several years with Werner von Braun. His name crops up again. Before his death, Carol and I have worked on the Treaty of the Prevention of Placements of Weapons in Outer Space, attached for your convenience.
Werner von Braun. Doc Brown.
Oh shit! It's all coming together. No, it's
he even
not.
might mention in the first film von Braun's, but do we definitely know that guy definitely said that? Has that been attributed to him?
Well, he is dead now, so he's not here to defend himself.
And I'm fascinated by people who say weird shit just before they die.
Are
they fucking with us?
I would.
Exactly.
It's
one last real dick move to just.
What was that guy, Gary McKinnon?
He was arrested. Is he still awaiting extradition?
Now he sounds like a Burnley left back as well.
He's quite autistic, isn't he?
He is, but he's an incredibly good computer hacker.
Yeah.
And he
did say autistic.
Yeah.
No, okay. Yeah. No, I was just saying.
He used the name Solo as his hacker name.
He said that he downloaded.
He's
spreadsheets, didn't he?
He allegedly, that was to do with the Earth Defence Force and the extraterrestrial officers.
Yeah, and he had a list of all the officers' names and all the ships they were on. And all
there could be an Earth Defence Force,
no, he didn't have time to
Solar
save it,
Warden.
Nobody
should check the cache, man.
Yeah, he said it was
Check
in
the
the
cache.
cache.
We downloaded this shit.
If that existed, Trump would have fucking tweeted about it when he was pissed.
He wouldn't know.
What's interesting is
they wouldn't tell him.
They wouldn't tell him.
The Americans really tried to get him, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Court and everything to get this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you see the one that he was from England. They went to export.
Yeah.
Export.
He's not Carlsberg, guys.
I bet his bloodstream is 50% Carlsberg.
We've got enough shit going on in this country. We need to export it.
I mean, McKinnon's an interesting case actually because he's like, oh yeah, I couldn't finish downloading it. Well, you've got your cache. Would have gone to that. I don't know. Does that work?
I don't know. I'm not a computer whiz.
But I don't know. They did really try to get him and nail him to the wall for it because he got into some. And he left taunting messages for them as well. That was the best of it. You'll never catch me. I'm Solo and all that. Obviously based on Han Solo, obviously. Yeah. Oh, I'd say R.I.P.
Well, Han Solo's the only real, he's the only Solo worth celebrating, isn't he? His son's a bit of a prick.
Episode 7 wasn't great.
Oh, let's not get on that rant. Come on, Ben.
I was actually quite satisfied to see Harrison Ford die in that film. I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes. You know what he said about that though? He's like, he was asked in a US chat show, like, oh, how does it feel to put the vest on again? And he said it felt like I got paid.
Yeah.
And you're like, is that what it fucking matters to you, dick?
Yeah. He's very honest.
I give him his honesty, but
I mean, what was he doing? I mean,
it was easy. Why is Han Solo at 70 years old transporting carnivorous octopus monsters on a stolen fucking freighter,
smuggling them in the middle of space
to move the plot along?
I know. Han's got Alzheimer's at this point, and Chewie's just like humouring him. He's like, he can't bear to see his mate go downhill, so he just keep Han was smuggling octopus monsters.
I loved that movie. I loved it. I'm sorry, I loved it.
Fair enough. You got your opinion.
I went 3 times, I think, to the cinema.
Jesus, really?
Yeah. Saw it in IMAX and normal. And I have my eldest brother is.
What did you think of Rogue One? Sorry.
Well, I'll tell you, he applies to both stories because my eldest brother is old enough to remember Star Wars the first time round in 1977. He would have been probably 10, 8, 9, 10, something like that. So he's a long time, hardcore, lifelong fan. He loved Episode 7, and we both loved Rogue One as well, to be honest. I really enjoyed Rogue One.
I loved it.
Spoilers to anyone who hasn't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
There was an awesome, well, sorry about this, but spoilers. There was an awesome moment after the movie. We were all stood outside and my niece, I think she was like 15 or something at the time, and she's holding a cup, from the cinema with all the characters on it. And we're all stood there chatting and she just goes, guys, and we look over and she like solemnly says, everyone on this cup is dead. Yep. Basically, spoilers. Everyone fucking dies. Everybody dies.
Are there any Bothans in it?
Any Wattons?
Many Bothans do die.
That's the thing. Is
which ones are the Bothans?
We managed to obtain the Death Star plans. Many Bothans died to give us this information. Where are the Bothans?
Well, I guess you see them then, because you do see. I thought. What did you think?
I loved it.
Yeah, it's just a good war movie. To be honest,
right.
A spacey war movie.
You see, Episode 7 destroyed my faith in Star Wars.
I thought it was poor.
I've never been so disappointed coming out.
I thought it served its purpose perfectly. The idea was. New Star Wars film that wouldn't offend the old fans too much. Obviously, didn't work on you.
The same fucking
script. Exactly, and everyone says that it was the same film. It's exactly the same film. No, it was very similar. They were trying to recreate the same feeling that first one gave everyone.
You've got Darth Vader on one hand, and you've got Kylo.
Kylo emo boy.
Guys, I'm sorry. Like millions of people disagree with you. Like it was.
Oh, fuck those millions of people.
Millions of people are in the Daily Mail.
And they're all, don't get hard on me about it. I'm looking forward to the next one.
I'm just saying.
I'll go and watch the next one because it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I didn't give Rogue One its due chance because I was so crushed by Episode 7. I atoned for my mistake.
Expectations were too high.
No, it wasn't. It was just the basic.
It was just
Thing of
another
the
Star
film.
Wars movie. Restart it for a new generation.
No bullshit. You
Introduce
tried that
some
with
new
Jar Jar
characters.
fucking Binks. That didn't bastard work, did it?
Well, I really liked it. So
What, episode 1 with Jar Jar Binks?
no, episode 7. I don't. Episode 1.
Episode 1 without Jar Jar Binks is alright.
Episode 2.
Yeah, but
Episode
Stallone's Judge Dredd
Okay.
without fucking
Yeah.
comedy sidekick is alright.
Episode 2 is so-so. Episode 3 is
3
good.
is pretty good, yeah.
I think episode
the
episode
last-
3 is the best one of them, Trey. That fight when they zoom out and all you can see are the two blue lights, that's a great shot. That is one of the best shots in Star Wars, right? They just got, literally just all you can see is those two lightsabers going.
Not as
forward.
cool
It's
as
great.
BB-8 though, and
No, I didn't even find that good. It was. And why is R2 just been kept in a corner with a drape over him?
he's old as fuck.
And what happened to that?
He's
that
obsolete.
fat
Where's
captain?
your Commodore 64?
Well, it's long gone.
Exactly. So what, they're not gonna fucking R2 should be in the fucking
Yeah,
corner.
but he's got history. He's important.
Yeah, and he
Captain
popped up at the
Phantasma,
end.
or whatever her name was.
Eh?
Captain Phantasma or something.
Phasma.
Oh, Captain Phasma's a waste of time. Gwendolyn
Phasma.
Christie,
She
great
fucking
actress.
looked cool though.
Great actress, and she's like,
Well, look- Boba
delete
Fett.
delete the, remove the shields. No, remove the shields. Okay. That
Boba
was fucking
Fett.
it. That was terrible.
Boba Fett looked cool as fuck. Was only in it for a few.
I've never been a
minutes.
fan of Boba Fett.
Well, he does look cool
Right,
as fuck.
everyone seems to love Boba Fett. I was, well, you know, he was just a fucking bit part
I've got a
character.
Boba Fett thing on my shelf.
You will have, yes.
Also, yeah.
Yes.
I do like Boba Fett.
He's cool looking, but Captain Phasma wasn't cool looking. He's just like a bit more of a stormtrooper with a paint job on
I
it.
thought she was pretty hot.
In the armour?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
How can you see in the armour?
I liked it. It was Stormtrooper with boobs. I'm a simple guy, man. What?
Oh. God, if we go out on Halloween, you're not going to be here. If we see a fucking female stormtrooper, we're going to have to drag you off her.
Yeah. No. So, to conclude
Alright.
the Star Wars rant, these guys hated it, I loved it.
Okay, yeah.
Looking forward to the next one. Roswell. I've
Roswell.
given my opinion. I think it was a tested space thing that went wrong, or maybe there were some shaved monkeys. I don't know. I think that town's full of shit. But I don't blame them. They got to make a business. They got to make a living. Like the movie Paul, which is a movie I fucking love. You must
I
have
like
seen
that
that.
film, yeah. It's a good film.
Uh,
Not as good as the previous two, but still
it's
funny.
a perfect example of just typical nerds who probably in the truckloads go from all around the world on tour to
Oh,
this
yeah.
shitty little town
Yeah.
to drink in a... I mean, I'm just guessing. I haven't Google imaged it or anything. I'm sorry if you live in Roswell and for some... but I bet though if you do live in Roswell, you do not listen to Roswell podcasts because you're probably sick of it.
Oh, fuck
But
yeah.
yeah, that's my opinion. It's the alien thing. I'm not saying I don't believe in aliens. I'm not saying I don't believe we've been visited. I'm talking specifically about this Roswell incident. There was no fucking aliens and baby coffins and fuck off.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
I don't believe in
Right.
the baby coffins. There's no way they'd bury samples like that if it
No.
was true.
No.
But I think it's possible. I think it. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying there's definitely a possibility. The whole thing was the change of the story for me. From the Air Force had one line, they seen the public reaction and then they changed it.
Yeah.
That's the bit for me that if there's any that for me is a bit suspect. Yeah, that's it really.
That's it. So, aliens or not?
Like I said, I'll go 50-50.
Can't get off that fence.
I'll
Go
go
on,
50-50,
Mike.
mate.
Get
Yeah,
off the feds.
I can't commit to it because the worrying thing is a lack of evidence.
Exactly, that's
Yeah.
what you could commit. You could say
So
these
I can't
people are
commit.
full of shit.
But then I can't commit to that because I think that there might be a possibility.
You're living in a universe where everything is possible. It's either yes or no. It's a 2-foot roll.
Well, it's a referendum.
Yes or no.
We
Yeah,
need
so
a
it's a
vote.
Brexit.
I
Yeah,
didn't
go on.
vote
It's
Brexit.
a yeah. Don't get me.
I didn't vote. I
Yeah.
abstained.
No, you.
And I'm going to abstain in this as well. It's my democratic right.
All you ever do is abstain. Fuck's sake. Brexit could have fucking used you there, you twat.
What do you think, Cat? The cat's just come in. For the
Yeah,
listeners.
Chester's just come in.
Ben, Your opinion?
I love aliens. I really do. Especially green ones, and maybe blue. This is poetry.
What do you think of Roswell?
I think that Roswell was investigated far too late to have any context within the UFO scene. I think if Roswell was investigated in like 1953, then absolutely. You know what? Well, those memories are still reasonably fresh. I think memories.
Okay, say all
memories
the memories
40
are
years.
bollocks. Say everything.
Yeah, but all we've got is hearsay.
Yeah, it still doesn't mean it wasn't true.
No, but what you're relying on, yeah, okay, there could have been something, and I would love there to be something. I genuinely would. I'm a big alien believer. I don't do religion, I do aliens.
So you believe
You wish you could do it.
I would do green aliens
You
so
believe
much.
with a space war and...
No, it's bollocks. I mean, you know, yeah, I'm not saying that, but surely more advanced civilizations than us would come in peace, because we're a very reasonably young civilization. Like, humans have been around for what, 10,000 years, and our present 100,000 years in our present form.
That's the official story.
Yeah, I've got. Oh, I was a Satan voice.
We're older than that.
The Anunnaki brought us.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Let's see it. We're 100,000
Hail
years
the
old.
beer room!
Hail our overlords! We're 100,000 years old as a species. Nothing. There's probably there's alien races out there, millions, billions of years old. Surely they'd be more civilized. Surely they just wouldn't crash because someone's pointed a fucking radar dish at them.
The Kardashev scale.
The Kardashians.
The Kardashian scale.
Oh fuck.
Karshev or
From 0 to 0.
If those aliens have got Kardashian asses, then I'm fucking well in verse.
He says that there's 4 civilization stages. The civilization type 1, type 2, type 3 and type 4.
I'm guessing we're number 1.
We're not even number 1 yet.
Is type 1 where you need the injections or the tablets?
From Space AIDS.
Cut down space AIDS.
Number 1 is you're interplanetary.
Yeah.
Number 2 is you can harness the whole of your galaxy.
That seems quite impressive for number 2 because
Yeah.
it's 4.
Yeah. Number 3 is the universe.
Okay.
And I think number 4 is multi-universe.
So when you get to 4, you're pretty much gods.
Well, yeah.
Gods amongst men.
That's it. Well, number 2, I mean,
It's not
What about
easy,
putting
I
a
can tell you. But
Dyson sphere around the sun, which captures all the energy from the sun, and you can use it any way you want.
Hoover.
So,
The
if
power of
they are a
Hoover.
Type 2 civilization, we are, complete backwater.
Exactly. Yeah.
Complete backwater.
Yeah, and they got all the way here, and then they're just hovering above the ground in the desert, and one of them's never seen a sheep before, and they find the sheep bollocks ever so funny, and he nudges his mate, Chuck Waka Waka Waka, whatever his name is, and
No,
he's
it's crazy telepathic.
okay, telepathically it nudges him, he's like, look at the bollocks on that fluffy fucking thing out there. They look away for 1 second, they beep 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 beep, and they all just crash.
Yeah.
Bollocks. I don't believe somebody that sophisticated came here and then hit the fucking dirt. It's like sending your best pilot. I don't know. I'm prepared to go off the fence. I think it's absolute ass water. This story. I do agree with you, Mike. There's definitely a cover up going on there with the newspaper thing, and that's what sparked this whole thing off.
It could have been a plant. It could have been a psyops plan.
But that's the thing, it's psyops. Oh, well, we can do whatever we want in the skies now because they'll just think it's aliens.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever seen the stealth bomber, the B-2,
Yeah.
the big flying wing bastard from the side?
All I'm saying is,
Look
that-
at
It's
UFO.
always
all I'm
stealth.
saying is,
Yeah, you only ever see the photo, no, but you only ever see the pictures of that. From like slightly above, slightly below, so you see the big wing.
Yeah.
You watch it from the side, it's got a fucking bubble there, and a bubble at the top, and a bubble at the bottom. It's a fucking UFO from the side.
I'm just saying that I don't believe any of these bastards.
No, I
Do you
don't.
know what I mean? Any of these official fuckers that come out,
No.
and I mean, you can say how could they dupe us for this long, and
Because they can get away with whatever they want to.
well, yeah, they hold all the cards, don't they?
That's it. And I would love it to be aliens, but I don't think official testimony is worth jack shit after 6 months. And really, memories get changed, memories get hazed.
The lack of physical evidence.
There's no physical evidence. I'd love it. I would love it. I'd love it if it was an alien. I'd love it.
I'd love it if we beat them.
I'd love it if we beat them. But nah, and
A
that's
nice 1990s Premier
Yeah.
League reference.
And as
Kevin
for-
Keegan.
I love that rant. And as it Friday night, I came across that on Facebook. Who had the best rant in the Premier League? Mike Kevin Keegan rant.
I think my favourite bit of that is that they didn't beat them. No,
No, they
United
didn't.
won the league that year.
Yeah, and he blew a 9-point lead. 12? Shit, me. You don't blow a 12-point lead. What are you doing, Keegan? You madman.
You madman.
Actually,
Well-
follow Galactic Keegan on Twitter because he's fantastic.
Okay.
Speaking of which, we got to sum up.
Yes.
We all
I
think
don't
that
know, yeah.
nothing alien crashed at Roswell. Is that safe to say?
No, I'm still on the fence, and I.
You're on the fence as usual. Gaz says bollocks.
No.
I say something went down, wasn't alien.
Yeah, I think it was maybe military testing of those
Yeah.
along those lines. Something secretive, but
Yeah.
it wasn't alien bodies. I think
I'm
No.
saying that all
Crap.
possibilities are real
Oh,
at
for
the same
fuck's
time.
sake.
Oh, this is going to become annoying. Anyway, you can like us. You can like us on Facebook at Quitting to the Bull. You can
That's
follow
it.
us on Twitter at Apocalypse Bull. I am at Baron Von Carter on Twitter. Mike, you are
At Cacvan.
at Cacvan.
Do you
Gaz, you're still not doing Twitter?
I'm still not to upgrade to the Twitter, but you can find me, I guess, through the page.
Remember
Yeah.
that the first 100 likes we get,
Yeah,
one
you
of
get-
you will randomly receive a free
You'll
T-shirt.
get a T-shirt and remember a Top Gun LCD game worth around
Yes.
£11, I believe, if eBay's to be believed. So
And for 200 likes, I'll give away a piece of Quitting to the Bull memorabilia, my used-up notebook
Oh,
that I filled with Roswell
there you
shit.
go. So get liking and we start over there. Sorry,
I've been Ben.
I've been Gaz.
Put on the sunglasses or hit the trash can.
Oh yeah, we're stepping over our finishing lines.
Yeah, we
here.
are. Yeah.
Go on,
I'm
Mike.
Mike. Peace out.
I'm Gaz. Free Biff Tannen, and we'll see you next week.
That's it.
Bye.
All good. I'm going to stop it, haven't I? There we go. Stop.